Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review, The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 2, JSS. I'm Phil, the Issues Guy, and holy fucking shit, Carol. Carol kicked so much fucking ass tonight. Yeah. I love it. They know just what to do to keep me filled with Carol joy. They give us just enough of this side of Carol and just the whole progression. I can't even wait to get into the podcast to talk to you about how much I fucking loved Carol tonight and just how much I loved this episode in general. As much as I did enjoy last week's episode and I thought it was really, really good, this was one of my favorite Walking Dead episodes I've ever seen. Yep. Really, I can't lie. This was just so fucking perfect. And it didn't have Rick in it. It didn't have Daryl in it. It didn't have any of the two big, stars, so to speak. And it was basically a Carol and a Morgan were the main focus, but it was a focus on a lot of the also-rans. Maggie had shit to do tonight. They gave shit to Maggie to do.
Barely, though. Barely. They barely gave shit to Maggie.
But they gave her some stuff.
I agree with you, too, about Carol. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I've given her some fair share of shit in my time, but this episode, couple last season, shining.
Oh my
shiny
God.
Little Carol, I love it.
Shiny, happy Carols holding hands, man. Oh,
yeah.
Wow, she was so amazing. Okay, so let's start off here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Phil's Recap and Review. We're going to talk about The Walking Dead tonight. If this is your first time joining us, please hop in the chat live and join the best fucking chat around. Talking about this episode already, going crazy. All our friends in the chat. You can also reach me by email at igotissuesman@gmail.com. You can tweet me at igotissuesman. You can call in or text in 781-990-8509. Get in what you think of this episode of The Walking Dead. We're really back now. Now I feel it. Last week, I was, again, excited, but I didn't quite feel it. I was still washing that ugly stank of something else off of me. But right now, I am so fucking excited. And Joe, we were here with Joe Dirty Locks. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
I am fantastic.
Were you feeling this episode as much as I was, or am I going a little crazy here?
I was absolutely feeling this episode. I thought it was great. I really liked it. There was no part of it that I was not like. Well, at the beginning, I was a little like, okay, this is going to be a focus episode on whatever her name is there, that chick. Enid. But then, yeah, it wasn't.
Everybody, even someone said in the chat something about Jesse. Even Jesse kicked some ass tonight. I enjoyed her in this episode. Yeah. I haven't enjoyed her a single moment on the whole entire series. I loved all the Enid stuff, and for the most part, I feel like we were a little shy on Carl, but I liked everything that we got with Carl. I just wanted more with him.
Right.
And I like.
The only thing I wanted more from the mom was, next time I tell you to sit in that chair, you sit in that chair.
we get a new doctor, Denise, who is freaking amazing too. Oh, yeah. Another excellent Eugene episode. Eugene was hilarious tonight again. I couldn't even keep up with Eugene's one-liners in my notes. I was laughing so hard. It was just all in all such a home run of an episode of The Walking Dead. There isn't anything. Even I enjoyed. Still I hate him and he's a little slimy prick, but I enjoyed all the Father Gabriel stuff tonight too, and seeing his sort of little arc in the episode and this feeling of helplessness. Deanna was interesting in the episode, and her relationship with her son and her son's eyes being opened into this entire world. I honestly can't say enough good things about this episode of The Walking Dead. I'm really now even more excited for season 6. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Give me the Game of Thrones Kool-Aid. I'm drinking it here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really liked, what's her name? Merritt Weaver. She's on Nurse Jackie. She was the doctor in this episode. Denise. She's also in like The New Girl. She's been in a lot of stuff that I've really, really liked. I've liked her in almost everything that I've seen her in.
When I first saw her, because I'm
in The Wire, I think too.
She's in The Wire. Oh, yep. Interesting. I don't.
A great Law and Order episode that has her in it that I really like. She's in a few of them, but
I gotta say though, when she first showed up, I was like, wait a second, is that Olivia? Is that the kitchen girl? Because I was unfamiliar with the actress, and she quickly differentiated herself and made herself unique, and I wasn't confused after about 2 seconds, and I fell in love with that character. I really loved Denise, and I loved her interactions back and forth with Morgan. But I feel like I'm dancing around it because I said it at the beginning and I can't say it enough. The person that stole the fucking show of this episode, and wasn't even the thing that stole it, it was her episode. It was Carol. There was like, Carol was so fucking amazing. Morgan was perfect. Right from the beginning, the whole arc of it, it makes everything that you're doing, maybe last week, seeing her go a little too Betty Crocker-ish, but everything that the way they started the episode off, and her and all of her bullshit at the beginning, but getting into it, playing the character, really feeding it, and how quickly the Hulk switch turns into her, and then Rambo Carol comes out, and she just goes on a mad killing. That was just so entertaining to watch.
It was awesome.
Unbelievable. Oh, and
her putting the W on her forehead, it was like, like she knew exactly what to do. There was no doubt in her mind what needed to be done, and she went out and did it. It really was fantastic.
It was really awesome, guys. And everybody, as I mentioned, we have our fucking awesome friends, the great motherfuckers, the best in the world, the motherfucking chat over there. And we got Bill Sotheby's. Jesse stabs the chick. Her son walks in. She should have held up the scissors and been like, "Now come get your fucking haircut."
Yeah. Next time I tell you to sit in that chair, you sit in that motherfucking chair, boy.
I know that kid. I just want to slap the shit out of that kid.
Perfect time to teach that kid a lesson.
Yeah, and like Carl.
Like Carol said to the younger brother, "Listen, your dad hit you. He got himself killed. Get over it. Tried to hit the wrong person."
Oh my God! And
come on, your dad murdered the mayor's fucking husband. Get over yourself, kid. Like, your dad was not an okay man. Poor chick needed to die. You need to know that. You want it to come. You can't lift your arm over your head. The fuck is wrong with you? Get over it.
I love Jesse in that scene too. Yeah, exactly. You can't leave you notice the fact that you can't really move your body well. You notice all those bruises over side of most of your body. Your father was a fucking dick. You do realize that.
Right.
Anna Banana, the wolves are here, or just an anti-smoking campaign gone bad. Either way, axe to the back of the head.
Hell yeah.
And I thought it was funny too when we got the sensitive knife to the back of the head by Carol tonight, where she hugs the guy and gives him the nice sensitive knife to that side of the head. Holy shit. Thank you, everybody in the chat that's going crazy already and talking about this episode. I really do, again, feel like now we're back. The Walking Dead is here, and I can't wait. Now I'm so looking forward to seeing how this, and now I wonder if this season is going to be, for the time period, be a very short period of time where we're going to only be, this whole season's going to be a matter of a week of this whole progression of next week is Rick coming back, and then the week after that is everyone together, and what's the plan for the Wolves, and that could all happen in the matter of a short period of time. I could see this whole season being very compact time wise, of progression of time wise.
Right, I see that too.
Al, Red Sox fan, says, Phil and Joe, do you think Morgan is a liability right now? Joe, I have a question for you. What were you thinking of Morgan's don't kill people strategy?
Oh my fucking God. Look you did not kill those two people back at your little, when you had the encounter back in the woods. And because of that, they came and those two individuals killed people in this town. You allowed that to happen, Morgan. You let them go again. They're going to come back and kill someone. Those deaths are kind of on Morgan's head as far as I'm concerned. There's okay, you don't have to kill. Nobody's saying to like it. Carol doesn't like it. You're not supposed to like it. Someone's trying to kill you and kill your friends. You don't say, go, leave, don't come back, get out of here, shoo. What the fuck is that? So the guy picked up a gun and he starts walking at him now. Okay, if there's bullets in that gun, Morgan, you're dead. Those 5 are going to turn around and come back and kill more people, you fucking idiot. Like, I don't, that's something I don't understand. That's bad, Morgan. Bad.
Do you think it's connected somehow to how he feels about what he had to do with his wife? He somehow
what he didn't do with his wife. He didn't kill his wife, who was a walker. That he has no problems killing walkers. He was rounding them up, clearing them. But if you remember then, I don't think he had any guns. He didn't use the guns when he was in town. He had them all like stockpiled. But
I mean, I'm at least glad by the end of the episode he learned his lesson. He learned that what he has to do in this, and seeing the error of his ways play out in front of him. At least he came to grips with it. It was pissing me off a little bit, but I feel like you can almost understand where he's coming from with it. So I'm not too angry at him, but it was kind of annoying after what you're like, Morgan, just what are you talking about? And I think maybe Carol enjoys it a little bit.
I don't think she enjoys it a little bit. I think what she enjoys is the more of the I fucking told you so aspect of what she has to now go do. And that I think she kind of gets a kick out of the fact that she's hidden who she is for the time that she's been in this town, that she is like, yeah, it's paying off. Like her plan has worked. And not only has it worked really with the town folk, but now she camouflages herself as a wolf and it works against them. Like, I think she's proud of that. She's proud of her ability and how far she's come as a person, and that she's able to stand up and not be that timid, abused woman that she sees, that she saw in herself and in this wife that couldn't stand up for herself. Whatever, I can't remember her name either. Bad with names.
Bill Sullivan,
that's what she enjoys, not the actual killing people. I don't think she wants to enjoy that. She doesn't enjoy that, and she should have said that to Morgan. You don't like it. No shit, I don't like it. It has to be done.
But I'm good at it. But I'm so fucking good.
She is good at it. Go fucking Carol.
Bill
practice back at the prison when she lit those two people on fire.
Let's jump back in the chat. Bill says, go ahead and take the high road, Morgan. You won't be on it for long. D. Watt says his wife killed his son. Remember clear. Absolutely. Scout Dakota says maybe the point of Morgan is to watch his transformation into a wolf. Scout Dakota goes the wolf. Michael, welcome, Michael. Carol's ninja outfit made me think of that kid from Metallica. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Fucking Tara Chan. That would be surprising. Critch said, when everyone is trying to kill you and your people, there is room for mercy. Lifeboat economics. You feel sad about what you did when you get to the shore. I mean, I guess Morgan is still he's in a place where he's still trying to find humanity in people because he's trying to find some positivity somewhere.
Well, the thing is nobody's killing someone for like the last cracker. That's not what this is about. It's about. I mean, it's kind of, these wolves are killing them, but they're not killing the wolves. They're killing the wolves because they're getting killed. They're not killing the wolves to they're trying to take my cookie. No, if they had come and asked for a cookie, we would have given it to them like we did you guys. But no, they came and tried to kill us. It's time for us to kill them.
And thank you, Duke Chronic. In case anyone was wondering, I should have said at the beginning, JSS stands for Just Survive Somehow.
Yes.
From
as we see in the note.
As we see. Renwood, Tim, welcome, guys. Carl, will Carol be found out now by the Alex? Yeah. I mean, I think most of the Alexandrians that she was playing that act to are dead. I think this was a big moment in the episode, similar to what we had with the prison, where a lot of our also-rans, a lot of our background actors, they're saving a lot of money in extras now because they just killed most of.
I don't think she's outed. I don't think she's outed. No, and
Olivia saw her.
That's all right. That's all right that people saw her act the way she did, because what you have to also remember, she is who she is, but she's also survived with Rick and Rick's crew. And they've pushed that Rick knows how to survive. They've pushed that we need to teach you all how to survive. And look, even this person, this Carol, who is shy, who is timid, who doesn't do this stuff and doesn't like this stuff, she can do it, and she is doing it, and you all will too.
Interesting. Tara Chan says, those wolves are fucking nuts. They had random bits of dialogue that made no sense. They killed too quickly to make any sense. I agree. They almost came up
supposed to be like that. They're a cult. They're not supposed to. They're crazy. They're not this like organized, super organized group. They're being told you all go in there, run in there and kill everybody. But you have to do it with knives. You got to cut off their, like, there's all sorts of shit that they're being fed. This is not. They're a cult. They're not thinking for themselves. They're being told. They're probably having food withheld from them. There's probably a hierarchy where they get killed if they don't listen. They're all dirty and scummy.
Do you think we have a Borg queen? Do you think there's a Borg queen to this collective of these wolves?
If not a queen, then a king. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Think there's always a cult leader who's not. You know what I mean? There's always that guy with the skull necklace or some shit, like, sitting in the cave going, "We will have that town," or some, But yeah, there's somebody pulling.
Oh, wait, was that your Batman voice? Could you do that?
I don't know what I said. There's one thing that stood out to me that I really, really liked in this episode was 2 quick lines. There was a moment when Gabriel came to Carl and had an exchange, and Carl leaves him and says, meet me at 3. We'll start with the machete. And that's cool. I like that because Carl is going to start teaching him how to survive. And the best way to do that is to start with the hand weapons, of course, right? But that's not the beauty of it. That was like this little teeny foreshadow moment where the next time we see Carol's in the kitchen and she's looking out the window and she sees the chick and she's baking and she sees the chick out smoking. And then boom, machete. I loved it. And and we'll start off with the machete. Boom. I was like, sweet. That was awesome. Carl, little foreshadow, had a clairvoyant moment. Like, tsh, tsh. I thought it was great. I thought it was good writing. It was a nice little foreshadow,
Great editing. So let's start in on our recap here. So we open up and it's with Enid in a flashback. She's in a car that's broken down and her parents are trying to get the car started. We hear walkers come as she's like, guys, I think we should probably leave. Yeah, you think we should go now? And then it eventually just flashes to her screaming in the car as she locked all the doors of the car to protect herself and her parents got ripped up. She stayed in there and they ate her parents. So then they cut off to her walking down the street in the rain. She's looking around. It's good atmosphere that's built up. Then we see walkers around as she's sitting hiding under a piece of wood. It's a good visual as she just writes down in the dirt the first time JSS. And she walks out of the woods and comes back and sees the car, and she sees a walker in the car. Out the car door, and she tries to move it, but it comes back to life. And then they cut back to her into the car, and she's writing JSS backwards on the glass.
Yep.
As then we see a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, or we see a giant turtle, and this is the moment in the episode. Up until this point, Joe, again with you, like I said, like you were saying, I was afraid we were gonna get just like Enid centric episode, like the Beth episode, kind of like a backstory of the Enid episode completely.
But even with her eating the turtle, I was still thinking, okay, that's her first meal, but we're gonna have to see her starve a little, or run into the wolves or something, and it's her blowing what's going on. We're gonna see her backstory and to see what her motivation was to betray the group, because that's what we were thinking, or at least I was thinking last season when we met her. Yep. When she snuck out and we had already been kind of introduced to the W's. She's got to be a part of it. What's this going on? So that's what I was thinking. And she kind of led me to think that again tonight a little bit, that she was part of this group.
I don't know. We'll definitely see. And oh my gosh, everyone in the chat's going crazy with rest in peace, Mr. Turtle. Oh my gosh, it's a sad day. I'm gonna get
and for someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Goodbye. Yep, keep going, Joe.
Isn't like turtle meat like pretty gelatinous-y, almost like like translucent deep chicken or something, or like a shellfish rather than like meat like you would get like from a four-legged animal of some sort. I don't know. I mean, it is a four-legged animal, I guess, but
we can turn to the chat. Has anyone in the chat ever eaten
like
turtle?
Cut open a turtle before? How's that meat actually look like? What kind of meal would that have made? She didn't even bother to make a fire. I mean, at least try, girl. Try to cook the fucking thing. Something. She just ripped into that like a flesh-eating zombie. Jesus.
But she didn't have every other chat, but she didn't have to eat it so raw.
Exactly. She ate it raw, man. She didn't cook it at all.
Somewhere Gordon Ramsay's in the corner going, it's fucking raw.
It reminds me, my brother, first time he saw like the old almost stop claymation Sinbad and the Seven Voyages or some crap that had the Cyclops in it, and it's an old 40s, 20s, 30s, 40s movies or something like that, and it like picked up people and it started eating them. And my brother wasn't freaked out. He was like 7, I guess, when he saw it. I was a little younger, and I'm only like reminded of the story by my parents. And he was freaked out that he ate the people, but not that he ate the people, but that he ate the people raw. That he didn't cook the people. Oh man, he ate that person raw. That's what he freaked out about. Gross.
Turtle Sushi says Red Sox fan. Scout says the wolves don't seem smart enough to use a plant. Yeah, it's true. The turtle was asking for it. Says Adam.
Yeah, it was. You see, it was coming straight for her.
Turtle tartar says Perry Love.
It was the turtle or it was her. The turtle lost.
Apulia says raw turtle meat braids. Oh, gross! It's disgusting. Oh my god!
I could eat me some turtle, but I would have toiled at fire before I ate that shit.
What would you say, Joe? What would you eat? Come on, motherfucker!
No need to kill it. It's not like it's going anywhere. Flip the fucking thing upside down and take an hour to try to figure out how to make some fire. Then kill it and eat it.
Ren says, I have eaten turtle and it's the toughest meat in the world. You need to cook it because of worms.
Yeah,
and
there's that too.
Bill says exactly. If they first learned Alexandria from Aaron's bag, then when did they plant Enid? Makes no sense. I don't think she's a plant. I personally don't think she's a plant either.
Oh, well, here's the thing. There might be other there might be more time. We might get more flashbacks, but when she said something to Carl tonight, and this is what makes me think that when she came in and she was like, I just wanted to say goodbye. Almost like she knew what was going on at the time. She was pretty calm about the whole thing. And then he's like, no, you're not going anywhere. You're going to help me protect Judith. And she said, listen, there's all these blind spots in this town. That's how we were able to. And she cuts them off. Now, she was either going to say that's how we were able to leave and get out of town without anybody noticing.
I noticed that too, Joe.
Or she was going to say that's how we were all able to get in here without anybody noticing. So.
And you guys, I'm sorry, the chat, I just have to jump in on this because they're saying exactly what I was thinking when I was watching this. So we cut to Enid, who's like doing her best shredder and is like, tonight I'll dine on turtle soup. Great. So she does her best shredder.
Send out the foot. Bring me the other 3.
One more time, Joe. Say it now. Go now.
Send out the foot. Bring me the other 3.
Okay, I just had to give you the voice changer too. I want to turn you into the shredder for a second. Give me that turtle, Bebop and Rocksteady, get them. Now, Will Smith, you're gonna I'm gonna throw your friend DJ Jazzy Jeff out of the house. Sorry, a little inside turtle humor there. Okay, so anyway, she takes out the bones of the poor fucking turtle and she spells out JSS again. So then she's in the town heading towards Alexandria and she's looking run down. She's not looking too well, but she can hear voices that sound like happy people in the distances as she gets close to the gates of the Alexandria safe zone. And she goes to turn away and we get another one of many at the beginning here, a really awesome visual of her, like where you see the gates from behind, where she like turns around. It's a really awesome visual with a music surge, and then it cuts to her opening the gate with her having like crazy eyes as she's walking through the gates. And I
like that because she kind of stands there and listens to the noise and she thinks about, do I want to be here right now or should I leave? Do I knock? She's pondering whether or not she wants to rejoin a society at this point. So we don't know exactly maybe how long she's been out there alone, never mind just her and her mother and father.
Scout Dakota says, Enid explains a lot in The Talking Dead. Enid wants to say goodbye to Carl because she never got a chance to say goodbye to her parents. Interesting. Tara Chan, I'm pretty sure when we first met her, though, long live the turtle. Bill Sotheby says, I think Enid thought she was going to hear those crazy voices again. And Tara Chan, oh, look at the little turtles in the chat. Oh, oh, turtle, we never knew. Poor little turtle stew. So it cuts to the gate. Then we come back in, and we're in a closet, and we see Carol's hand grabbing a can of celery soup. It's just so amazing how this episode starts out here and where it ends up going. And we hear one of the I'm not even going to try to say what these people's names are because they don't really matter because they're pretty much dead after this point. And we hear someone saying, "Oh, you're very brave. We've had that can since the very beginning." And then we get some talk about noodles being stale, and Carol's gonna make a casserole, and she's an honest to goodness hero because of teaching these girls how to cook their cola canned ham. And what she did. And we get Carol talking about, I made miracles for me and Ed at dinner. Every time at dinner, I'd make these miracles for me and Ed. And then we get back to our pasta maker stuff from last season where this woman's like, yes, I need a pasta maker. And Carol, even in this mask, knows how to threaten people. She goes, listen, lady, I'll teach you how to cook pasta. I'll teach you how to cook. If you don't smoke cigarettes, that's just a disgusting habit that's going to kill you. And so no smoking for Carol. She doesn't like it, especially if this woman's smoking. I'm sorry, I was gonna wait to say this, but I have to jump on it now. Joe, you're a used to be smoker. I've smoked occasionally. I never really was a full-time cigarette smoker, but she's smoking Marlboro menthols.
No, she is not smoking Marlboro menthols.
They look like Marlboro menthols.
She is smoking Morley's.
Oh, more. I thought they were Marlboro menthols.
No, they are a popular TV brand used in many, 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 many movies and TV shows, like dating back for years. I don't know exactly when Morley was created, but it's a studio brand. It's used in a whole slew of shit.
Niedermeyer. Thank you, D. Watts. Mrs. Niedermeyer.
Yeah, the descendants of Animal House are in this town.
God, I love you guys in the chat. You guys are so fucking awesome. Ren, Ina reminds me of Daryl. Yeah, she kind of has that sort of expressionless, like the way she just takes in everything. I think her and Daryl would actually get along. Their names were Red Shirt. Corey Mitchell says the names were Red Shirt 73, 74, and so on, so on, so on. Scout Dakota says Carol equals master of threats. Fucking love that shit. Bill says Carol makes her smoking outside got her killed. Yeah, it's true. Carol making her smoke outside got her killed. See, smoking is dangerous. Darren says, how does she still have them 3 years into the zombie apocalypse? She must have had quite the spot
everywhere, so people come back with them.
Yeah. X-Files guys.
How many people smoke? And it takes one person to go, find a store that she grabs like 12. Maybe she's not a menthol smoker. You got to make do.
Yeah, exactly. And Duke Chronic said X-Files guys smoked the Morleys as well.
She smoked Plimpton.
And there seems to be a consensus in the chat that the saddest moment on the show since the death of Herschel was the death of that poor defenseless little turtle.
Yeah.
Poor turtles.
So I forgot to mention something, everybody. Katie regrets that she couldn't be here tonight. She is very sick. She's in the other room. She watched the episode. She loved the episode, and she really wanted to talk about it, but she really doesn't feel good. She's not feeling well at all.
Yeah, tell her not to eat stray rodents. That the crow's out and about. She probably bit into a rodent.
She had some bad turtle earlier.
Had some bad turtle. Okay. We all wish Katie Crow the best for a speedy recovery, and we will see her hopefully back next week to talk about this.
I tried to clean the turtle head the best I could, but I missed some worms.
Yeah, you just couldn't do it. You were in a hurry. You were really hungry. She was really hungry, and you needed to feed it to her. Okay, so let's continue here. So we get all the stuff about the pasta maker. Carol says no to smoking. To Carol Carol in this scene's being very nice, but again, as someone said in the chat, she can just threaten in all different kinds of colors. And I feel like that's one of the things that you can't say enough. I believe her name is Melissa McBride, is the actress's name.
Yes, it is.
I can't say enough about how many little layers, like Shrek says about the onion. Carol is like an onion. She has so many layers, the subtle little touches, the switch, like when she walks out of there and goes and talks to Sam, and she's like, Sam, listen, deal. Your dad hit people. He got himself killed. You need to man up. Stop sitting there and being a pussy. Just, come on. Get off my fucking steps, you little asshole. You're not getting any cookies. Go fucking, don't be a dickhead. No more cookies for you. Don't be a dickhead like your brother, and fucking move the hell on. Your dad's an asshole.
That's exactly what Katie said. I don't got any more cookies, kid.
Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell. It's just whatever. He's dead. I love this scene with her and Sam. I just love the little moments and the little subtle touches of of her. And I'll answer your question, Al, Red Sox fan. Joe is absolutely watching the game. You see how his head's turned like that? That's what he's watching, right to the side. He's absolutely watching the game.
Sorry about that, everybody. I don't mean to.
No, that's okay. No, someone was asking because I think
Red Sox fan.
Yeah, Red Sox fans also watching. You mean Cookie bitches? Tim says yes. I'm sorry, Cookie's not Sam. Cookie's bitch. My friend says the acting in The Walking Dead is like terrible. Like, okay, fuck you. Not fuck you, Terrachan, but like, I don't think the acting in The Walking Dead is horrible. I think you could say that it's I could understand the argument when people are like, okay, I understand the story's the same, zombies, this, but I personally love the human experiment. But you can't tell me Andrew Lincoln's a bad actor. Like, you're fucking wrong if you're telling me that, or telling me that what the performance that Melissa McBride's given into. Like, I'm sorry, it's fucking good.
No, she is
fucking great.
I haven't really since they left the prison. I have enjoyed everything that I've gotten from Carol. Absolutely everything.
Are there some bad actors on the show? Yes, but like even Father Gabriel, that like we rail on hating him, the actor Seth Gillian, I think is his name. He's a fucking excellent actor. He's on one of the greatest shows of all time, The Wire. I mean, there's and then you have Bob and Tyrese and all these actors. The actor that played Merle. I
think they've done great casting. I don't think there's any actors.
Yeah, I think what saves this show sometimes when the scripts don't always carry through is the great acting.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
And the film,
the
shooting of it.
Puglia says the walkers suck. They're bad actors.
Production wise, everything is great. The only time I felt it suffered is in like plot.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes plots and stuff. But like, again, what saves this show and what makes it great always is the performances, even in the lesser. I mean, yeah, occasionally you have fucking the guy who played Herschel, and blanking on his name. He fucking amazing actor, like, historic, just like been in so many amazing things. I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple of clunkers here, but whatever. Who gives a fuck? Was Beth the best actor? Sorry, Tim. Was Beth the best? No, I'm not a huge Beth fan, but whatever.
She did a good job for what she was like. She was more scenery than anything else. Until
Michael Roker, thank you, Mike.
By the time she got to start acting, they got rid of her.
Yeah, Scout to go to Seth is a complete believable as a tortured douchebag. So yes, great acting. Merle was great. Michael Roker, thank you guys. Yeah, so many. I mean, not everybody. I'm no mean to pick on Beth. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get all the Beth lovers coming at me in a second here, but I mean to pick on her. But I'm just saying, like, I can understand some people, some of the act, but like the main cast and all the main people are all just excellent. Phil, you're absolutely right. The acting has saved the show many times. Yeah, I think so, and especially in some of the lazy part, not the lazy part, some of the more boring sections of season 2. It's just the performances from the actors that save what's going on. Scott Wilson, thank you, Ren Renwoods. Even the less good actors weren't terrible; they were just okay. Yeah, and that's good point, Terrachan. That's what I mean about someone like Beth, where I'm like, I wouldn't say, oh, she was amazing, but she was very good. I mean, they never. It's rare that I can think of someone that gave a poor performance on The Walking Dead proper, that wasn't just like an extra that was in there for like a scene here, a scene there.
Yep, I enjoyed everybody.
Oh no,
even like the prisoners, the
everybody hates Chris. Someone said Bill says I thought Beth was hot. I will agree with you that I think Beth is kind of attractive, but Maggie's my girl. If I had to pick a green, I felt, not because she did a lot, but I thought I'm sorry to be like this because I feel like piggish to say it, but like Maggie was like giving me all sorts of, oh my god, Maggie was looking so good tonight. I was like, holy shit.
I'm in Camp Rosita.
Rosita was looking very pretty as well.
I like she's my favorite so far, I think. I gotta say. And yeah. Oh, tell me Aaron didn't shine tonight too.
Aaron was great. I was so scared for Aaron tonight because of what I was. Aaron was amazing. Yeah, we'll get into it. Let's get into it because I fucking love Aaron, and I hope they use him so much more. I just love him as the performance again. Performances. He just gave such a ballsy performance tonight.
I think we might have like another change of heart there too, as far as
Now, Joe, what were you gonna say? Another change of heart with
like character. You know how Rick was like, I don't want to send people out anymore, and Daryl was like, we should send people out still.
Yeah,
I think that might change. I think we might stay with Rick's.
Do you think now? One thing I mean, we're gonna get to it in the episode, but one thing that wasn't clear to me in the chat and you can clarify for me. When Aaron got back to town and he goes crazy and he stabs that wolf in the side of the head, was his boyfriend killed in all of that?
See, I thought the boyfriend was at some point was in the medic house.
Right. Okay. So the boyfriend all right? I
think Katie said that it was the boyfriend's. Is that his boy's bag? And I didn't know what he meant, like one of the other runners, or was that her?
No, the bag was bag. No, the bag was his bag that he left in the car when we first met him a couple seasons ago. That the wolves found, and that's how they found
Okay, right. So then that's what it was saying. It was his fault that they found the town. He was thinking that, and that's why I'm saying.
That's why he was freaking out. So his boyfriend's fine.
Yep.
Okay. Because
that's what I think. But then there was someone else that like one last zombie they killed in the town. And I was like, was that his boyfriend? It looked like an older zombie. I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Yeah. But no, we didn't see him die. He was in the hospital. Okay, thanks, guys. Okay, that's what he was ready. He was in the ER. No, the boyfriend is alive. Thank you, guys. I was concerned for him because Aaron came back and he was so upset. And I know he was upset because he realized that that he was partially responsible for the wolves finding Alexandria. But he just, the actor just gives so much to it. And I was just like, oh my God, he's so upset. What happened? Is I think his boyfriend's name's Eric, but I'm not positive. I was like, oh, is Eric okay? Yeah, I'm watching Adafan's watching the turtle death again. Aaron stabbed the wolf and he just became so cool. No, Eric is alive. Everyone says thank you so much. I have to listen from the beginning, so I have no idea what you guys are saying, but I love the show. Thank you, Victor. And when you get back to this point and you catch up and hop back in the time machine and catch up to us, thank you again for checking out the cast and taking part in it, buddy. Really appreciate it. And thank you everybody for that. And yes, Rosita is a very lovely lady, Joe. I agree with that. Okay, so we go to Carol not being nice to Sam and your dad, get over it. So then we go off to
that was fucking awesome.
Get the fuck over it, bastard.
Yeah, that was awesome. And like, I wanted her to like go, I was thinking she was on her way into that lady's house at first for a second. And like, I was like, oh, now go say it to the other one. Now go say it to the other one.
Okay, so we go off to Jesse, who calls for Ron, and we see Ron in full douchiness coming down, and she wants to cut his hair, and he's like, no, you're just bullshitting me. You just want to talk. That's why you want to cut my hair. You just want to talk. Fuck you. Fuck you, douche turds. You just want to talk. Yeah, you don't want to talk to your mother? You and your mother both got beat by the same dickhead. This said dickhead is now fucking toast shit. So can you just talk?
How many times have they have? She's his mother, and we know Dick Porch Dick was beating the kids also. We don't know exactly when it started, but we know that the older son can't raise his arm above his head now. So it's not like they haven't had this conversation like, I wish he would go away. I wish someone would kill him, blah, 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 all this stuff. And now all of a sudden, like, you've been beat by this guy probably your whole life. And this is like this is your reaction. You've been liberated from the hand that fucking beats you. And
I like that. Not the hand that feeds you, the hand that beats you. I like that, Joe.
And the kids all like sour grapes. Well, yeah, I understand it's your dad, and I understand there are good times and there are horrible, evil fucking times. And you get brainwashed to a point. It's, Stockholm syndrome to the 10th degree, to the infinite degree. So I kind of get it, but then again, like Carol said, now it's time to get over it. You can't blame Rick. Like, it's not like nobody in the town hasn't told him, your father came into the meeting and cut the mayor's husband's fucking neck, you asshole. He deserved to fucking die.
With a ninja sword.
Right? Like, he decapitated fucking Charlie. Like, with a katana. Like, he beats up me and you, and he finally put his hands on someone that he can't just smack around. That's what happens, son.
Yes, sorry.
Type of fucking person, son. Like, have this conversation. Be an adult about it. There's no time to be like all touchy-feely with your kid. Zombies are fucking eating people. Wolves are crashing the fucking gates. Like, like Rick, how many of you am I going to have to fucking kill to save your lives? You don't like, come on, wake up and get it. Even fucking Morgan.
Shut up and get a fucking haircut. So, Red Team, welcome, Carmine. Have not seen this episode yet, but I assume it was the wolves. The person beeping the horn from the look of episode 2 preview was one of citizens calling for help or died in the horn. It was like a walker on the horn. Or like the
guy shot him. The guy shot him and killed him. And it turned into a walker. You know, when it crashed, he was finally dead, and like eventually stuck and hit the switch for the horn. So I like that. And I like that the mayor's older son, like now we know why he wasn't out on runs because he's a big puss. You know,
Corey says Ron was going to go cut himself and listen to some Linkin Park.
That's not funny.
I know Linkin Park's bad. Will Sam die this season? I hope. I actually know. I hope Sam lives if they eat more cookies and Ron dies. Gypsy. Anyone else notice the actual actress Tara Masterson there? Alana Masterson was pregnant. The clothes she's wearing to hide it. Interesting.
Oh yeah, they couldn't hide it. She's very pregnant.
Yes.
Like the one, if they were trying to really hide it good, they wouldn't have had that like they showed her from like mid thigh up, and she looked very pregnant. She looked like she was wearing like big baggy loose clothes to hide it.
Well, congratulations to her and Eugene.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like they could have just done something like that. Like had Eugene have a scene like, I thought you said you weren't into that, and she could have been like, yeah, well, me, Rosie, and Abraham got friendly one night or something, you know, like anything.
Like
I went for a piece of Rosie and Abraham joined in. So hey, when in Rome.
Tara Chan says, I like Sam, but Ron can fuck off. And quit. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. Tim's right. Quit calling Sam that. His name is Cookie Bitch. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Eugene Bitch.
Harry loves his yes. Eugene's the baby's daddy. You can tell. And oh my god, you guys in chat are cracking me up tonight as usual. And Tara Chan says, really, I had no idea. I had no idea too. I can't lie. I'm ignorant to that stuff. There was a season of, I think there was a season of like Seinfeld where Julia Louis-Dreyfus was pregnant, and there's like certain other actresses when shit like that happens. People need to tell me like, oh yeah, they've shot her behind a table for the whole season. Oh, I get it now. Or on How I Met Your Mother, Robin was pregnant, or Lily were pregnant for whole seasons, and then they just kind of make the joke after the last episode where they're like, oh, by the way, the character has to leave for 3 episodes because she's annoyed with something Barney said or something.
When's Elaine coming back from Portland?
Yeah, exactly. Where did Robin go? Eugene having sex? LOL. If the baby comes up with a mullet, we'll know what happened.
I'll stay here. I believe my proficiencies are best used inside of this lesbian chick.
Yes, I best my talents are best used inside Tara. Oh my gosh, poor girl. Cersei.
Respect the head.
Oh, yeah, the actress of Cersei was pregnant in all of season 5 of Game of Thrones. Yeah, and I had no. I mean, I knew at the end, like when I read all the stuff about her not being naked and stuff. That's what I found out. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but there's pregnant, and then there's very pregnant. Like she was pregnant in all of Game of Caesar Thrones game. But she was probably maybe only a couple of weeks pregnant, or maybe a month or 2, not really showing. You know, she wasn't 8.5 months pregnant. Tara apparently looked to me.
Oh my gosh, Sawyer the Long Con. I fucking love your name, my fellow Lost friend. Where's Rick and the others? This is happening simultaneously, right after Rick has sent Morgan away back, because Morgan has had enough time from the time at the end of last episode when Rick sends him away to get back to.
Yeah, the horn goes off. While they're herding the herd, I guess. And that horn goes off, they still like the herd just all breaks for the woods. You saw that long shot. So it's gonna be tough for them to run to wherever the fucking town is in the direction that these things are all walking as well. So that's a lot of zombies that they're gonna have to try to wade through or get around or stay in front of and not die. And we see that Morgan is the one that actually shuts off the horn, and we hear the horn throughout the entire, for quite a bit of time at the end of last episode, I thought. Oh, it seemed like an eternity to me. Like every second the horn's going off, I'm thinking, no!
Michael says Cookie Bitch can take his A stamp and go shove it up his pooper. Jesse has 2 kids with assholes. They turned into assholes themselves. And we had a question, who has more games, Sam or Eugene? I would say that's easily Sam. Easily Sam, because Sam's actually got some. He sealed the deal. Even though he wasn't responsible for sealing the deal, Gilly kind of did that herself. But I would say Sam probably has more game. How about you, Joe? Sam or Eugene?
Sam or Eugene? Sam's the son?
No, Samwell Tarly.
Samwell Tarly or Eugene? Sam. Dude, Sam's got way more game. Like, because he doesn't cut, like, they both got no game. Okay, no, Sam's got game. But if they both had no game, at least Sam comes off like a nice guy and Eugene comes off like a pompous fucking dick. No girl wants to go cuddle up with that. Like Mr. Know-It-All with a mullet who doesn't have a good body to go with it. Like,
the mullet, Joe. He's got a pretty mullet.
The hair game can only take you so far. Trust me. You got to have more than just that.
Okay. So anyways, so we go off to Jesse. And we get this scene with Jesse and her little shit son. Rick sucks. Blah, 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 blah. My daddy was a saint, Joe. My daddy was a saint. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for both. Tara Chan, as a girl, says, I'm a sucker for both Sam and Eugene. They're as adorable as fuck. Yeah, I mean, I would say Eugene would need the right kind of girl to take an interest in him and be like, oh, you're so cute. Like, if Tara was straight, she would probably be interested in Eugene at this point because she's seen, like, the good side of him and seen, like, his warm heart. So he needs people. I kind of thought he had a little bit of a thing going with that girl he let in the front gate at the beginning of last episode, where he was kind of doing a little flirt back and forth with her, and she was kind of finding him. Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah. And see, I was about to say, what happened to all of them? And they're out with Rick.
Yeah, they're with our big plan.
Yeah, and that's right. And we heard today, like, what was it? Not Maggie. Who was it? Yeah, Maggie was like, oh, what do you mean they're doing it now? And they were like, she was like, we had to Carol. I think there was a little exchange.
Yeah, there was with Morgan and Carol. She's like, where's everybody else? And we had to do it now, we had to do the plan now. And that's where everyone was gone. Right. So, okay. So we get, after this scene, we get a scene of Maggie and Deanna who are just talking. Maggie's trying to cheer her up with work. They talk about how Maggie found a lot of plants and they want to build up the wall and honor what Reg wanted them to do. Do you still want to do this? Do you still want to lead us, Deanna? Maggie's just basically giving her a pep talk. You got to show the people in the community that you're still alive, that you're still controlling things a little bit.
Yeah.
And, I personally, I mean, I like the performances by both the actresses, but Deanna, I think this is just a fool's errand by Maggie. I think Deanna she doesn't want it anymore. She doesn't want this. She wants to give it to Rick. She wants to give it to these people, and she wants to wipe her hands.
No, but and that's all well and good. But the smart move is you can't let her. You can't let her. She needs to be your ally. She's been leading these people. You can't just let her give up. So I agree with what Maggie's doing. I really do believe that the rest of the people need her leadership. They don't trust Rick and the gang yet. They really don't. And and some people are really upset about what happened to Porch Dick. Apparently.
Yep. Yes. Or just how it happened. But that's one of those things too. With everything that Rick's done, I don't get how some of the things that Rick's done. I understand how he's done it. But like in last episode, when Morgan and Michonne are getting kind of pissed at him for putting Catch Me If You Can, Ethan Embry out of his misery. Like, what was Rick supposed to do? There's a certain point in time where Morgan ultimately getting pissy with Carol for ending people. Or I love, again, we're going to get to it, but I love the moment in the episode when the guys tried to talk on the ground. He's like, you guys aren't supposed to be here. And like they're trying to talk to him. And then Carol just walks over with the gun and just shoots him in the head. She's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? It's just this look on her face. Like, what are you fucking doing? And that's the thing about Carol. And I think Carol and Rick and Daryl and Glenn are probably the best in our group of the way they do this in their own minds. They just know how to separate it and turn it on and turn it off. Yep. And
it's not supposed to be easy, but you do what you have to do.
Yep.
Like it's not like I don't feel like there's a big moral dilemma here. Someone is trying to kill you and your people, your friends and your family. You don't let them do it. And you don't let them get up off the ground to do it again. Now, it's different here in society. There's a point where you have to say, okay, I'm not going to kill this person or they're running away. But in the apocalypse, whatever kind of fucking apocalypse, there is no running away because that only gives them a chance to sour their grapes and come back and kill you again. So you put the fucking bullet in their back. There is no big fucking moral dilemma here.
I do think, though, that I have to give her credit for that expression, like seeing the message on the tea leaves or whatever it is. Like, she realizes the error of her ways, and she's a smart lady. I mean, there's no doubt that she gets it more than a lot of the other people that were living in Alexandria does.
Dude, when you see that Carl even fucking gets it. Carl puts that guy down, but like I said before, I think he kind of took a step back a little because he let the guy, oh, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Dude, he was chasing after your friend with a fucking machete. This is the same mistake you made with your dad. That dude would still be alive if instead of coming up and trying to fucking pull Rick off a porch dick, you had gone up and fucking put your foot down his fucking throat. The mayor's fucking husband would still be alive.
Reg. Yes, Reg would still be alive. We'll jump in the chat here for a second. Carol's MVP. Deanna, a red team says, Deanna is also an old woman, and I wouldn't say she's completely worthless. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Deanna is completely worthless. I would say she... I would not,
but Carol's also, I mean, Maggie's also right. She's not worthless. And no matter what your fucking job is here in town, whether you're the mayor, the fucking store clerk, or the wall builder, whatever it is, you better be damn sure if you're not building a wall today and you didn't do it 5 days this week, your ass is out in the fucking garden planting us some fucking corn. Mayor, you don't just get to sit around and call the shots. Get your ass out and plant some corn today. Join the fucking building crew tomorrow. You're like this life of luxury and not doing because you decide what other people do, that's fucking bullshit. And that shit needs to stop. And Maggie's absolutely right about that. Everybody picks up a fucking hoe. Everybody picks up a fucking hammer. Everybody picks up a fucking gun. Everybody keeps a gun on them. People wouldn't be falling and dying left and right with machetes to their head if they had just... Armory? No fucking armory. Arm yourselves. Stay armed. If someone kills someone in town, don't exile them. Kill them. Because if you exile them, they're going to come back and try to kill more.
Carl took 10 steps back from me, says Bill Sotheby. Carl only put the guy down because he was trying to fight.
He should have put him down immediately, like he did the kid outside the fucking prison or whatnot. So
Red Sox fan says, I can't believe he fell for that. Carl, that
right,
is.
Exactly. I can't believe Carl fell for that shit either. That was a little bit of bullshit.
And Carmine says, I love you, Joe. You got it all figured out. Amen.
It really, like, there's moral dilemmas are like, oh, I'm hungry in the apocalypse. Should I go break into the storeroom so I can bake some cookies? Like, that's a little bit of a moral dilemma. But like, there's bullshit about like not killing people because all life is precious, or letting people go to come back and get you, like, no, or coming around the corner not knowing why your leader is fighting some guy in the middle of the street and trying to break it up instead of killing the motherfucker with him. Like, these things are not moral dilemmas. They are like, they just seem so obvious to me. Phil, like, even now if I see you fighting, I don't pull you off. I put the other person down and then make sure you're okay, and then hope it wasn't you who hit him on first for nothing. But the first thing I do is put him down to help protect you, not pull you off to protect you.
Chronic has
fucking danger.
Chronic. I mean, D Watts has a very important question for you, Joe. I can get a hoe, Joe. Where can you pick up a hoe?
Oh, you can pick up a hoe in any shed, yo.
Tara Chan says, maybe I have a bias for Carl, but I don't find him to be something to have a rant over. Honestly, Joe, calm down.
No, it's not really. I'm not really ranting over Carl stepping back. I'm ranting over just this whole attitude of don't kill.
Right,
like,
right.
You're being attacked and you're being killed. Fucking kill back. He shot the guy once. He was chasing your fucking friend. You shot him once. What, you're gonna mend his leg while there's more people running around getting shot? Well, you got to go protect Judith. No, finish it off, Carl. Do it.
Scout Dakota makes a good point. Carl was a bit silly, but he finished it.
Yeah. And it did get finished. He did put him down, and then he went back in. He wanted to take the kid in with him, idiot, fucking, you killed my daddy. I mean, your daddy killed my daddy. And he ran. Are you serious? Oh, and you got Enid behind you. Where?
Big Sexy. Welcome, Big Sexy. Morgan fucked up bad chasing those wolves away, especially since one gets a gun. Yeah, that's not going to come back and haunt anybody. No one's going to get killed with that gun.
Right.
Nah, that's not happening. Okay, so we go over to Eugene and Tara. He's complaining.
The bullet better find Morgan. That's all I got to say.
Oh,
if the
maybe
bullet
that
takes out Daryl or Aaron or Rick or Carol or Maggie or any of our crew, I'm going to be pissed.
Speaking of pissed, Eugene's pissed because they're wasting the biggest building in town for a church.
And that pisses me off, too. That really pisses me off.
I know that was good. I was waiting for this one. This is just
come on, like you're gonna like, oh, that is a real waste. Like, use it as a community center, a community feeding hall, a theater. Like, don't use it. Like, sure, it could be used. Eugene had some great ideas, but I don't necessarily think any of those are right either. But.
We found out who would you want in a foxhole with you, Morgan. Yeah. Porch Dick's son is a porch dick in trading, says Critch. Joe, if you were Scout says, Joe, if you were mayor, half of the town would be dead. I'm calling you. Put him down, Joe, from now on.
And that's just it. I know I'm not mayor. I'm more like the, send me out to find people type.
Yeah.
I'm more, there's part of me that's also like, there are people I care about. And I'm a firm believer of I do not leave their side. Under the most dire and extreme circumstances, do I say, wait here, I'll be back in a second. No, it's get your shit, we're going to go hunting. Get your shit, we're going to go take a piss. Get your shit, we're going to go shit. Like, you stand here next to the tree, Phil, and watch me shit. Because I'll be damned if a fucking walker is going to come up behind me and grab me while I'm trying to take a shit. I'm going to trip over my fucking pants while I'm running out of the bushes from a walker. No. And Phil, when you have to take a shit, I will stand right there and make sure you don't get fucking eaten. There's no walking away. Like, I don't understand that mindset. Like,
a couple feet away anyways. Lola, welcome, Lola. Absolutely, Joe. There's like a few times where I'm just never getting taken down in a zombie apocalypse. Not in situations where the buddy system will easily solve the problem.
Correct. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, there's not much. There's just the buddy system. Everyone has a buddy. You watch back. Remember when when I was a child, I can't speak of you, but when I was a kid and you'd go and do somewhat illegal things outside, you'd always stand in the four corners. You'd have like one person facing one direction, one person facing the other direction, and then you pass around whatever illegal item you're passing around in a circle while everyone's looking in the four directions. So in case
looking over your shoulder, of course.
And looking over your shoulder. So in case someone's coming to take you and take away your hippie activities, you're prepared in the situation.
I will say occasionally, though, there were times where someone had a hand placed on their shoulder. Yes. Excuse me, boys. What y'all doing? Oh, shit, we failed.
That's because someone failed in their job. That's because someone failed in their job, right. And they weren't properly trained in how to keep us guarded in those situations. Oh, my fucking God.
But hey, there's none of that in the zombie apocalypse, man. You got to pay attention. You can be on point.
Absolutely. Welcome, Lola, again. Tara Chan, that was a really bad image you put together there, Joe. Scott Dakota says, the family that pisses together stays together.
Lives long enough to piss again tomorrow.
Yes, and that's the goal of life, to live again, to piss another day, really, when it comes down to it in this world.
Like really, you're going to go take a shit. Are you going to think every time, make sure I take my pants off fully in case a zombie comes around the corner? You don't want to be pulling up your pants and stumbling over them and shit like that. No, you take them off, you take a shit, you put them back on.
Bill says it's not illegal here, it's medicinal. Scout Dakota says, I'm pretty sure we learned the buddy system in kindergarten.
Yeah, right? Come on.
Maybe none of these people went to school. I agree. Buddy system is great unless you're a turtle, says Corey. Poor turtle, the turtle! Yertle the turtle. Ah!
That thing fought for its life. It was going straight for her. She's lucky.
Yeah, she is lucky. That turtle was a big problem, guys. Turtle. So, okay, we go over to Eugene and Tara, and they're complaining about the church. Thumper should not get dibs over a sweet game room. talking about Father Gabriel. Thumper should not get dibs over a sweet game room. We meet Denise, who someone mentioned in the chat that they just draw straws for the new doctor, and who starts making fun of Eugene. They have a good back and forth going on.
Oh, and you're a doctor? And you are? I heard the stories. I heard about your lies.
Bill says that turtle didn't have a buddy. That was his fatal error.
Yeah, hey.
Bill, too soon, says Terrachan. No, not the turtle. I need a shit buddy too, says Bill Sutherpeak.
Yeah, you do. Listen.
You all do. Guys, any one of you in the chat, I'd happily be your shit buddy.
Listen, you can take a shit in a lot more places if you have a shit buddy than if you're alone. If you're alone, you have to make sure you find a good spot where you're covered on a couple of sides before you get to go and doing your business.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like, that's what friends are for, Joe. I mean, the friends are for to help you out when you shart your pants, right, Joe? Yeah. That's what friends are for.
They're there to give you cover while you get out quick.
Tim's assigning shit buddies in the chat. Make sure Joe and I are obviously shit buddies, but I'll second for any of you guys. I'll be your shit buddy.
If I'm available, I'm not above shit duty, yo. I will clean a latrine if I need to.
Joe, our first idea is to go hug yourself, go fuck yourself in the back. The second idea for a t-shirt is I'll be your shit buddy.
Yep, assign a shit buddy.
Make sure you assign a shit buddy. So anyway, so we go over to, we have this fun scene with everyone making fun of Eugene, and she's the new doctor, and Denise makes fun of him for lying about being a doctor before, and she goes, yeah, I heard that story. So she also has panic attacks and when thinking about being a doctor, so she went into psychology. She's hoping she's the new doctor, and she's hoping everyone has lowered expectations. And Pete didn't want her around because she was a mess. She was too goofy. But yeah, she kind of only wants to kind of throw up now. Not completely throw up, but she kind of wants to throw up. And she goes, well, I'm the doctor, so why do you guys want aspirin? And Tara is her first patient. Tara feels like she was going to pass out or something. And she goes, okay, you're lightheaded.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure aspirin is like indicated for dizziness. Like, I think the last thing you really would want to be doing is thinning your blood more to make you possibly more dizzy. Or if you do have, like Eugene said, some sort of subdural or a hematoma in your brain or concussion still, or if you're bleeding internally that's making you aspirin is not going to help. Aspirin is going to make things direly worse. It's good that this woman is there. And as a psychiatrist, she absolutely has medical training. She has background in a lot of stuff.
Straight up, everything she said, I understand what she said, but nothing she did tonight made me think she was inept. She pulled her weight tonight.
The only thing I was upset that no one actually really said was, listen, lady, she's dying. Do what you can. If she dies, it ain't your fault. She's going to die anyway. So do something. Don't just sit there. That's irrelevant. Hey, stab her in the head now if you're saying that she's just going to die, but don't stand there and go, ugh.
Corey says, I seriously think with the bow staff, katana, and the death of the turtle that the Walking Dead guys have a serious fetish for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Lola asks, what's the shit buddy thing? We were just saying in the zombie apocalypse, you never want to get killed when you're taking a shit, so you always have to get a shit buddy. Someone to watch
my point was, you never go anywhere alone. Like, there's certain people who, like, that I care about, that if I want to make sure they don't die, going off to do any kind of a run alone or like to even take a shit is not done. I'm sorry. There's no wait here and I'll be back in a second. We're stay together. If I'm going somewhere or you're going somewhere, we're going together. Period. Yeah. There's no like, we'll be back in a little bit. Hold up here. We're going to go make a run. Even if your fucking leg is broken, we're either all staying or we're all going.
Al Red Sox would say, no, Morgan and Carol are definitely not shit buddies.
They will be.
Eventually.
They will be.
Anna Banana, our good friend Anna, says, how cool would it be if Enid followed the wolves, came back, told Rick's groups, and we have revenge. Great show, guys. Thank you, as always, Anna Banana. And we got our friend, our buddy, Big fucking Kev. How's it going, Big Kev? Big Kev says, hey, guys, great episode. Carol is a straight badass. The episode showed me how good this show can fucking be. I can't wait till next episode. Motherfucking dick out. Yeah, and I agree. That's what we were saying at the beginning. This episode really did remind me, like, I just really enjoyed the fuck out of it. Not like I needed to be completely reminded, but it's that this was the episode that finally washed all that other stank of that other show off of me. And I'm like, okay, this is what I love about The Walking Dead. Awesome individual performances. Carol being a fucking complete Rambo commando psycho fuck and calculating and evil, dressed like a ninja. Just ridiculous, amazing situations happening. Like the hordes of the wolves that looked like the enemies in the Lord of the Rings coming at them, just getting hacked away. It was just fun stuff.
I was a little shocked that part of the wolves' plan was one person in a truck crashes the gate.
Yeah, maybe it was just to be a distraction. Then this is just me, because I don't want to get it too into what do I know or what I don't know from reading wikis about the comics or reading parts of the comics.
This is just an introduction.
The saviors. No, I just what I'm saying is these guys don't seem too smart.
No,
these guys seem like and they're really hungry. They're really ragged. They don't have a lot. They don't even have guns. They're just coming in there like hacking, blah, 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 going crazy animals on people, ripping to shreds. These people don't seem not even close to as calculating as some of the other groups that we faced before. They're more just animals.
I absolutely agree with that assessment of these people.
Absolutely. And I mean, even you can say what you want. Oh, the termites ate people. They were at least somewhat organized, and they were extremely organized.
Again, we had the A imagery, which we had. So like that immediately made me think of the termites in the container that they were held in.
Oh, so that was okay. The girl Holly that died, was she the girl that we met last week? Because Johnny Rico says, "What the fuck? They just kill Holly without even bothering introducing her character, like in the comics. Instead, we get Enid as a useless turtle-eating girl."
Holly, the one that got back with the group.
Yeah, Holly was the girl that died that Denise tried to save. I don't think we ever actually met her.
Denise tried to save.
Denise is the doctor, the one in the end of the episode that ends up dying.
Right. Okay.
So okay, then we go off to Carl and Judith. Carl's taking Judith, and Carl's looking really good. His hair, he needs a haircut too. He needs to go to Jesse for a haircut, but Carl's looking good. I'm missing Carl this season. Even in the little bit we got him, I'm like, I could even use some more Carl. And behind him comes Father Gabriel, and he's like, I know you guys heard when I told Deanna about your group, but it wasn't about me. I mean, it wasn't about you guys. It's totally about me. It's not you, it's me. And I'm really ready to learn now. Could you teach me? I'm ready to learn.
I actually like that. This was the first scene.
Do you believe him?
I believe him. Because if we remember from, I think it was last season, the final episode, he wanders out of town and he's all, I'm finally ready, I'm ready. And he stumbles out onto the road when he's saying this, and he sees a walker eating a fresh kill, and it comes at him, and he ends up using a noose the noose that was around the walker's neck. He pulls the thing's head off, then he gets down and he stabs it in the head, then he goes over and he kills the other one that it was eating. So this was something he wasn't willing to do. When we met him, he was on a rock, unwilling to fight for himself, stranded, so to speak, zombies unable to get him 4 feet in the air, and he's been hiding from them. He hasn't fought any zombies, hasn't killed any of them. He never did it. So he's now ready. He had that transformation when he came back and he left the gate open, so I think he is ready. I do believe him. And then he even had that episode in the church where he tried to goad Sasha into killing him, and Maggie helped him understand that he just needs to do as Carol said and get the fuck over it. And then even I think the mayor's son came to him and was like, I need to talk. So that kind of got him back. I think he's ready to, I think he is ready. I think he's ready to try to be a priest again and to fight for this community. But I'm not sure. It was definitely the first scene that I appreciated him in. So
yeah, I hear you. And jump in the chat for a second. Carmine says it's been 6 years. Carl still looks like he's 10. Does anyone else notice this? Yeah,
he had that awful Bieber quaff thing going on.
Oh my gosh. And Bill says, yes, Carmine, Judith is still like a tiny baby. Those Crimes kids grow really slow. They had someone on the, I think it was Talking Dead last week when someone mentioned how long a time period it's been. And the writer
that long.
The writers got, we're very vague on time. Ha 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 ha. Which just means like we don't care about things like that. We're not trying to.
If you kind of watch it and you watched it all at once, this at one point they're like 6 months later, it's no longer winter, but and like it's and we don't know how long they were walking for until they, found this place, or Aaron found them, but they were out of food, they were starving, and all this shit. That it hasn't necessarily been that long since they left the prison.
Tara-chan says, legit, I wish they'd kill someone because we all know it's coming. It's just a matter of when. It's putting me on edge. Scout says, can we have old Maggie back? I miss her. I really miss her too. Even though Maggie was looking, I said it earlier, was looking very...
almost there. She was almost back fully tonight for us.
Still, babies grow really fast. Even a few months would be a big difference, says Bill, with Judith. Yeah, Judith is definitely not looking that, looking still very tiny. So anyways, we're off to Carl and Judith. He's looking cool. We get Carl and Gabriel begging to be helped, and Joe already talked about this. We come by around 3, and we're gonna start with machete training. And Carl spots Ron and Enid getting pretty cozy. He had
already kind of spotted him, and then decided he wasn't going to say anything. He was just going to keep walking because his tension. That's when he was interrupted by, and he turns around and says, "What?" to Father Gabriel.
What do you want? But
then he's not going to say anything again. He sees them hugging, but he's going to just keep quiet and keep walking. He doesn't want to get involved in it, and I think he shows a level of maturity there, unlike Ron, who sees Enid behind him and is all like, "Wow, you killed my daddy and stole my girl."
And saved my life. What an ass.
And saved my right.
So Carl spots Ron and Enid doing some pretty hot and heavy hugging, touching each other in all the right places. As we go into Carol, and she's making her magic in the kitchen. Oh, Carol, she's so dandy. It's like a cooking show with Carol, and she's setting her timer. And okay, this starts the point I love so much. We haven't mentioned this yet because it happens towards the end of the episode. I love how they did this tonight, where they have, speaking of time, how they have Carol set her cooking timer when she puts her casserole in the oven.
Fantastic.
And then at the end, it dings and Carl takes it out of the oven. It was just to show you how quickly that all happened. That was so fucking beautifully done, dude. Yes, it was so awesome.
I really like that too. And you don't even, it was so subtle until you heard it ding again. You almost I thought that was great. I was like, oh, Carol was baking. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, I almost forgot about it, and you're like, what the fuck is you doing with this scene with Carl at the end? You're like, what's he doing? Oh my God, yes!
Carl, stay here, protect the baby, and my lasagna.
Yes. That's what Stephanie was like, oh my God, the lasagna. And I was like, holy shit, fucking casserole Carol. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Carol.
I love that. I just love that whole connection in the episode. It's done really well. So we get Carol making her magic in the kitchen, and we talked about this before. She looks out the window to spot the woman smoking a cigarette and being like, ha, ha, ha. See, I pressured her into having smoking outside, so I'm just going to have to teach her how to cook pasta.
That was sweet.
And then we get the machete running up.
Out of nowhere. Were you just, me and Katie were like, I was, what? What?
Bam. Yeah, and then just.
What the fuck was that? Did she actually see that? Was that was that like her thinking about her husband doing that or something? And then she just runs out of that was awesome done. And I loved how we had that reference from Carl. We'll start with the machete, and the chaos starts with the machete. I really like that. They could have started it anyway. They could have started it with the truck rolling down the street. They could have started it with somebody getting shot or hit with a bat or stabbed with a regular knife. But no, they started it with this guy. He ran out of nowhere and he cut her arm off and slashed her across the chest or head and shit. I thought it was great. And my jaw was just, what?
And Carol's just like, what the fuck? And you just hear a little music shift and goes. And then just everything just kind of shifts in the act.
I love it. She turned I looked at Kate. I was like, yeah, here comes Ninja Carol. And then boom, 2 minutes later, there's actually Ninja Carol.
Literally Ninja Carol. Yeah.
Out of nowhere to stab the dude, save what's his name. Oh, it's great. I loved it.
So we go to commercial break and we cut back in, and Maggie and Deanna are hearing the screams. We cut to like someone fire blazing the wall, and everything's burning as Maggie.
Oh, what's his name gets hit with speaking of the fire blazing, it's one hits the side of the wall. Maggie's like, "Who's up there?" or "Who's over there?" And the builder guy, I think it was the builder guy, gets hit with another Molotov. Boom, and just catches on fire. And
was that Tobin? Was it Tobin?
I thought that's who it was. I could be wrong, but I thought it was the builder guy, which would be Tobin.
And then Maggie and Deanna hear the screams, and we see the fire blaze, and
someone's scurrying back over the wall at that point, or over the wall to inside.
Exactly. And Maggie goes into action and kind of runs off, and Deanna reluctantly follows her. So we go off to Carol, and Carol.
Can I say, which is why you don't put the support beams on the outside of the fucking wall? You say you're an architect, but you're like, oh, this will protect us from all sorts, as long as it can't climb. Like, come on. Like that, to put the support, really, to save a few extra feet? Like, what?
Reg, Joe is very disappointed in you, Reg.
I'm extremely disappointed. And not a single person was like, Reg, why are we putting the supports on the outside?
That's why sycophants are bad. because people are just like, Reg, you're a genius. You built a wall, Reg. You're amazing. Wow, such a genius, Reg. And then one guy in the back, where's Ethan Embry, who's like a contrarian to everything Rick says? Where was Ethan Embry to go, Reg, don't you think we should put the beams on?
Right? No, but he learned. Reg taught me how to do things.
Yeah, okay.
Build the wall because Reg helped me. He was the first Noah.
And that's why you're dead. You know what? Come on, dude.
Everything Reg touches dies.
Tim asked, "Are we done with Cookie Bitch?" I don't think Cookie Bitch comes. No, Cookie Bitch does come back later. We're about to get to Cookie Bitch again, actually. So we go off to Carol, and Carol takes charge, tells Carl to stay here and keep Judith safe and keep my casserole safe. So we go off to Sam and Cookie Bitch and Jesse. Jesse's gonna go out and find Ron, but Cookie Bitch is like, no, don't go, mommy, don't go. So they end up hearing someone down in the house breaking in, and they both hide in a little alcove, like closet area up in the upper part of the house. So as we cut to the town folks are dying left and right as the wolves are attacking. Wolves are here, and we go over to Carl, who's about to shoot Enid as she's getting into the house, and she shows up and she's like, I'm here to say goodbye, and I'm not staying here. Carl's like, you're not leaving, you're not going anywhere, and they're not getting in. I'm not letting them get in. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to shoot you, and then you're going to let me have my first time going to second base. It's happening, Enid. We're going to second base, motherfucker. And Enid says, this place is just too big to protect. Too many blind spots. Carl gets very serious here, and he's like, all these people are gonna motherfucking die. Don't tell me goodbye. I don't go goodbyes. And we get a very good visual shot of the two of them sitting back to back. I really like this visual. And you would think that some of this Carl and Enid stuff might take you out of the action a little bit, but I really think the two of them have good chemistry. I like Carl better with her than I've liked in other things because she sort of has him wrapped around her finger a little bit, and I kind of like it. Let's jump in the chat a little bit. Is it me or did they switch the baby Judith? Says Asia
No,
20.
they probably switched the baby Judith.
They've definitely done it.
They've probably gone through like 3. Well, they probably had 3 to begin with.
Oh my gosh, the baby
like
in real life
since baby. What was that? Season 2 it was born.
Yeah, and anyone's wondering who Cookie Bitch is, that's Sam, Jesse's other kid, is who I'm talking about. Is Cookie Bitch. So
the younger of Jesse's boys.
So we cut in after that, and Carl says no goodbyes, and she gives him a look like, okay, fine, I won't say goodbye. And she specifically almost says that. She's like, fine, I won't say goodbye, is ultimately what she says. And I really do hope Carl gets some with Enid. She's very nice. So, no, I'm kidding. So we cut to wolves killing everybody, stabbing. I can relate to being a young man at that age, and you're in the zombie apocalypse. Carl needs some experience. That's all I'm saying. Carl needs to meet a young lady.
Don't we all?
It's true, Joe. We all do. So we go to the wolves. Joe without a crow tonight. So without his spirit animal. So wolves killing everybody, stabbing a guy in the house. But
wait, Carol, do you really think I wouldn't have said that with her sitting here?
No, I absolutely think you would have said that with her here. I don't think that has any bearing on it. I think I could call her over here now and tell her exactly what you just said, and she'd be like, "Yeah, okay, that's Joe." Oh my gosh, you guys in the chat again. I say it a lot, but you guys in the chat are really kicking so much ass tonight, and I can't thank you guys all enough for joining us live every week. You guys are cracking me up. I'm like, if you see my face like this is me staring at the chat, and I'm like, I don't know what to say because I just want to stare at what you guys are fucking saying as the buzz starts to slightly hit me. So the wolves are killing everybody, stabbing the guys in the house, but Carol is sneaking around, watching and waiting. These guys, and we get to notice right away that these guys are pretty sick. They're stabbing away, like they're drowning themselves in blood. They're just jumping on people like crazed monkeys and just like stabbing people in the side of the throats, like doing everything but biting them and like in eating these people. Pretty much almost everything. Bill says Enid is leaving because she's a loner and a survivor. She told Carl this place is too big to defend. She knows when to cut bait and run. I mean, I kind of agree that just survive somehow, as Corey writes.
But why is she so calm? Why does she know that that's the time to leave? Why does she know what's happening? Like, there's too many questions, and she actually starts to say something about the blind spots and the defense of it being too hard.
You mentioned that. Absolutely.
And says, that's why and Carl just interrupts her immediately because I think he kind of thinks she might be a part of it. I don't know. It was strange. It was definitely a strange.
Johnny Rico says she said that's why we then stopped talking. Who is the fucking we? Yeah, and that's what Joe keeps asking too. Who is the we that she was about to talk about? Was she I mean, it could be something as simple as she was talking about her and Carl. That's why we could sneak out easily without people noticing us sneaking outside. That's why we could do this. I mean, it could be numerous things, or it could be that she felt bad for a second because she feels a connection to Carl and she's a part of whatever group. I mean, the only thing I can think about her with the wolves and stuff, she does seem a little clean for the wolves. And she seems a little sane. If she's the wolf, she's the leader. Because she's like the smartest one.
Yeah.
But she could be part of another group. I mean, it just because she's not a wolf doesn't mean she's not some spy for some other group. Because I doubt the wolves are the only people out there.
Oh, of course the wolves aren't the only people out there. There was also, like, we saw the termites and the governor. Like, this is the only good group of people we've come across is in this town so far. It's kind of strange, actually.
I love the budding relationship and the future podcast of the Lola Tim podcast, which will come someday. You guys cracking me up.
The Shit Buddy podcast?
The Shit Buddy podcast. That's the name. We got a name, the Shit Buddy podcast. Oh gosh, I love it. Critch says, I think Enid knows of the wolves, so she's trying to get the fuck out of there. Absolutely. I think on The Talking Dead, Gypsy says, on The Talking Dead, the actress that plays Enid says that she might be back and that everyone will be happy to see her. Interesting. Thank you for that information, because I don't get to watch The Talking Dead right afterwards. So any information from that is good. Even though I don't believe every piece of information that comes from that show, it is very misinformation. It's a platform for misinformation to kind of send you off. So it is good. And I do know, just from my brief experience on getting to have talked to her for a few minutes, she recorded an album and she's going to go on tour for it. So she's probably off the show for a little while anyways. So
well, I mean, even if she does do a tour, they might like plan for a summer break so she can film, or a fall break or something like that. If she's back.
No, very true. And by the way, I know I don't want to talk too much about this, but I just found out, this is worth mentioning, because I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because we're going to get to talking about the Fear the Walking Dead airplane thing that happened during one of the commercial breaks. I actually took notes for that. So We'll wait to get there. So we get to wolves killing everybody, stabbing a guy in the house, but Carol's sneaking around and watching and waiting. These folks are sick, stabbing, writing themselves with blood. So Carol's running around watching, and it's just too much for her alone. But she hears someone begging, and Carol heads into action, kills a guy, no problem, then covers the neighbors, and then realizes that the neighbor is dead, or that got stabbed by this person, and kind of hugs them and then gives them a very lovingly stab to the back of the head while she's gripping them.
Yeah.
But Carol is pissed now. She's becoming pissed.
Oh, so that was it. I think she was pissed right when she saw the machete. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it was like Carol, like she turned the hat around, like an over the top.
Yeah,
you saw her.
She tied the bandana.
Yeah, she tied the bandana. She's like, okay, enough of this shit.
The Rambo bandana went on.
No, you guys need to get some profile pictures because it's like confusing to see the blue face. Oh, I should talk to all the people in the chat. That's confusing to see all your blue faces. Come on, guys. Oh, thank you so much to our friends on Twitter that have been sharing the video right now. Thank you, guys. And I say it a lot, and I like to pause every once in a while to say thank you to you guys for all the sharing and the commenting and all the spreading the word of the show that you guys have been doing. Thank you guys enough. Can't say enough for all the support you guys give. And that's the only way we're going to keep growing and keep getting our chat room bigger and bigger. Thank you guys so much.
Never would have thought in a million years we would have had one viewer, never mind many that we have, and the support that you guys give us. It's unbelievable.
So thank you. I mean, again, Joe and I would be talking on the phone right now if we weren't doing a podcast about this episode till 3 a.m. Yeah, actually, we have another hour podcast that happens after the show is over.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty much true. So okay. So less about Fear the Walking Dead and more Fear the Mother Dick. You guys anyways, no, Fear the Walking shit. Please not. I'm sorry, Lola. I don't want to give Lola post-traumatic stress disorder from talking about that. So we go off to the to Deanna's other son, the one that's still alive. I believe his name is Spencer. And he's in the tower and he's shooting, but he's missing a bit, but he eventually spots a Mack truck coming down the road, and it hits the wall to break down the wall. And that is our horn from last week. Excuse me. And I thought two things that they did in this episode. One was the beep for the flat line, and then the horn, was very effective from a sound standpoint.
Agreed.
So
the only thing I had wished is dude had climbed back up the tower after Morgan came out and stopped that horn.
Absolutely. No, true. JSS, janky, sweaty scrotums. That's funny. Sorry, everybody. As I take the sip of my my Game of Thrones beverage. So we hear the horn, and then we see people running away with mayhem and the wolf. Spencer ends up stuck inside with a gun. So we go off to the hospital, and Denise is faced with her first real test. She's trying to get her bearings of the situation, and we're trying to figure out what to do. We get our brain trust that's left in Alexandria trying to figure out a plan. Aaron immediately steps up, and Aaron says, I'm going to go out there and handle the business. And so does Tara. Tara's like, I'll handle the business too. And then we get our Eugene hilarity of the evening, where he's like, he says in a mumble, I believe I'm served better staying here right now, but that's better. And I love Aaron's reaction to it, because Aaron goes, what? Like, he just couldn't understand the mumble. He's like, what did you say? And then Eugene says it again. I believe I'm in a better service just staying here. And Tara's like,
dude, don't even say anything. Yeah. Of course you're staying here. I'm surprised you're not already under a bed upstairs.
It was really awesome. And I would totally be on team shit from Aaron. Aaron's awesome. I love Aaron. So we cut over to a visual of blood dripping down the stairs, and that damn horn won't stop as we see a guy try to kill a walker at the truck, or someone climbing in the truck, but Morgan shows up. And he gets there right in help as we see Spencer get into the truck and try to
he's not even like he's
Spencer was dead.
The one that's like leaning in the truck, he's like, it can't even come at you. It can't even come at you. Why are you on watch holding a gun if this is how you react to this shit? Like,
it can't even come on you. It can't even come on you.
Right?
I'm sorry. So yeah, and I do want to mention again that visual of blood dripping down the stairs was very good, and Morgan shows up at the right moment.
There's a lot of good blood visuals here today.
Really good blood visuals, and I can't say enough all the background visuals of the wolves throughout this episode of just they interchange scene to scene of just wolves killing tons of red shirts, killing tons of like random people here and there, just attack.
Action, like once the action started, it was fantastic.
It really was. So then Morgan comes into the truck and saves Spencer with the bow staff, and we end up getting leads up to this face off with Morgan and the bow staff facing off a wolf that has like an axe that says these random things like "I'm slow, you're fast." I'm slow, you're fast. As Morgan says, please stop. He's like, please, just go away.
Yeah, no, not I'm slow, you're fast. He says slow or fast. Like, you want me to kill you slow? Or do you want me to kill you? Do you want to die slow or do you want to die quick? And Morgan doesn't. He says, just leave, please. And he goes, okay, slow.
See, Joe,
kill you slow.
This is why I love, like, not, more than anything, you're my best friend and I love you anyways. But this is why I love you, because how I took that scene was like that he was talking about the weapons, like that he was like, I have a slow weapon, you have a fast weapon.
No. He was saying, do you want to die slow or die quick? Let me know, because I'm going to kill you.
So Morgan's like, get the hell out of here, and they get ready to set to face off with like a Peter Petrelli versus Skylar type fight where they're both going to go at each other, and Carol just shows up and Ninja slits his neck, just like interjects herself and goes, excuse me.
And that's number what, 2 for her?
Number 2. Someone said in the chat earlier, I think Carol is
oh no, that's number 3 because she was already in the she already went to the armory and she killed the one that chased her in the armory. She killed 2 outside the armory, so that's 4. I think she had, like, at this point, that's like number 5 or something for
Someone
her.
in the chat earlier speculated that she had about 10 tonight.
Carol, like, yeah, she was. Go, Carol.
Corey Mitchell asks in the chat, anyone think we could get an origin of Morgan? I mean, or probably
I think we kind of have our.
We have, but he keeps mentioning that cheesemaker.
He's just a guy who was a cheesemaker. Like, I think he's making it out to be more than it is. Some people are cheesemaker. Like, my uncle was an EMT and a fireman, but he's also a fucking ninja, for Christ's sake. Like people do shit. They aren't just ninjas. Like,
ninja doesn't pay too well.
No, it doesn't. You got to make the bill somehow. So this guy, it's not like he was like the Zen cheesemaker. Probably he fucking worked in Wisconsin. He made cheese or some shit like. Vermont, he worked at the Cheddar Barrel or something, making cheese.
Carl asks, what was Carol's body count for the episode? Someone said earlier in the chat, Tara might have said it earlier. I want to say it was about 10 or something like that. It was roughly around that. And Tim is about to start watching the episode now, so he'll be coming in and out for us. And again, everyone, thank you so much for the shares and likes. If you haven't already and you're enjoying this, hit the like button, hit the share button, do whatever. Fucking spread us like a fucking virus across the world. Okay. So anyways, as our virus thing continues, Morgan is like, listen,
you're sick. You got the virus.
I could have
Always Sunny. Sorry.
He's like, I could have handled this. I could have done it myself. We didn't have to kill him.
No, you do have to kill them, Morgan. We have to kill every single one of them, because if we don't kill them now, they will come back and try to kill us again. If you have the drop him.
Kill him. Yeah, kill the Jem'Hadar soldiers right here, because they're coming in and they're causing all sorts of problems. This is that first wave that they're sending in the tester defenses, and
that's all I could think. Like as soon as it's quiet, like you got to start preparing for them to come back. Pass out guns, everybody. We're down to these 2 houses. Not even these 2 houses. We're moving. Like if the church had already been walled up, we're all moving to the church. The church. It shouldn't be a church. It should be a fortress that everybody can crowd in and fire their guns from. And hopefully they don't get burned out of it, but still, there's They need more time to prepare. They didn't have enough time. Rick hasn't had enough time to prepare them yet.
He's like Batman with that shit. So Carol's like, these dudes don't have guns. Let's get to the armory and I'll kill them all.
She absolutely, like, she notices these things right away. She not only notices that, she notices that they're the wolves. She knows to put the W on her forehead. She knows that if we don't get to the armory, defend the armory, get guns out of the armory, they will get there. And if they get there, they will use them against us. Like, she's brilliant. Like, she figured this shit out. She's been waiting to storm the armory since they got there, since she found out there was a fucking armory, for Christ's sake. You know, like, that's the first thing on her mind is get to the armory, get weapons. They should already have them. Didn't Rick say, number one, everybody carries a weapon? They should have all walked over to the armory at that moment and passed out fucking weapons.
Get thee to the nunnery. Perry Love says, the pasta maker didn't teach us shit. Cheesemaker 1, pasta maker 0. Red Sox fan says, those who fight and run live to fight and kill another day. Absolutely.
Exactly. So don't let them run. If they start running, shoot them in the fucking back. They have violated you to no return. Like, there is no, like, okay, now this person is fleeing. This is the apocalypse. If they came at you once, they will regroup, regather, and strengthen themselves and come back for you again. You have what they want. You have power. You have food. You have weapons. You have shelter. You have a wall. There are things that they want, and they're going to come and get them no matter what. It's ridiculous to think you can let them go and they're not going to come back. This is what Carl learned when we first got to the farm? The farm. He let that walker live, and Dale died from it. It's the same thing with people at this point. If they egregiously come at you and don't just offer a friendly hand off the bat, you need to take the ultimate action and end them, because they will come back and end you.
So we get back in, and Maggie and Spencer and Deanna are all outside. Deanna's like, the best thing's for me to stay out here. I'm useless. If I go inside, I'm just somebody that's helpless, and it's just going to be someone that could get killed, and I'm going to stay out here, and that's the smartest bet for me. Which
I will do best if I'm alive in the aftermath for these people.
Good point. Like, I give her, I can't give her shit for that at all. Smart idea.
Absolutely, I'll give her shit for that, because not only does she need to stay alive, but she needs to not only pick up the fucking hoe and show these people that she's still there. She needs to fight for these people. There is no luxury of, I will best serve us by not doing anything, because all that does is get your friends killed. And if they die, you then die too. It's the same principle as the doctor with that patient on her table. If you don't perform surgery on this woman and fix her artery, she's going to die. If you do it and you fuck up or you don't know what you're doing, guess what? She's already a dead woman. So either do it or fucking stick a knife in her head. But do something, because there's going to be more wounded. That being said, it's the same exact thing. You either kill them or they kill you.
So we go back to, and let's jump in the chat. No pasta maker for you.
They either kill you because you did nothing and sat there in a fucking truck and let them come for you, or you die killing them. At least you're helping to protect your friends and family. Like, do something, but don't do nothing.
Ren says, the wolf said they have no right to live there. Absolutely, yes. That's what the wolf said. I
think the wolf was talking about everybody on a whole. The earth isn't yours anymore. You don't belong here or out there or anywhere. This is not a place for humans anymore. You're either a wolf or wolf bait, like, because we are giving the planet to them. We are helping them get it, essentially, is what you kind of, humans are the scourge. God wanted the humans gone. That's why this has happened, and we're going to help perpetuate that. Cult.
So we get back to after that scene with Spencer, and Spencer ends up guarding Deanna in the truck. And okay, I get Deanna staying outside, but Spencer stays outside too. And
Spencer was already staying outside. Morgan told him to hide.
He was more scared than Deanna was.
Instead of hiding, he should have gone back right into the tower upstairs and started trying to pick people off that came into his sight again. He didn't seem to have a problem with that. He shot the guy in the truck. When the truck was barreling down the road, he tried to shoot one or two other guys, but didn't get the shot off in time. Like, Come on. Do something. Don't just go hide. Get back up in your tower and shoot people.
Johnny Rico says, Carol seems to fit perfectly with the Wolves, killing with no remorse. If she becomes the world leader of the Wolves, she could take over the world.
She wasn't killing with no remorse. She obviously, there's no time to remorse while you're fucking fighting for your life. When it was over, when it was done, she shed tears, not just for those who died, but for what she had to do to live and to save the others. I really honestly believe when Morgan said, you don't like it, no, she doesn't like it, but she's doing what she has to do. And there was remorse, and there's no time to be, you know, remorseful when you're being attacked. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to feel bad about punching this guy in the face who's trying to kill me. Maybe I will afterwards, that I not only punched him in the face, but I stabbed him in the back of the head, you know, but certainly not while we're in the thick of it. There's no time for that shit. That's not without remorse. And she's not killing, she's not murdering without remorse. She's protecting herself and others from people who would take her life and her possessions from them. There's a difference. That's not killing with that's surviving with no remorse. And she shouldn't have remorse for surviving.
To answer your question, Johnny Rico, Spencer did not kill anybody as a sniper. He bungled every shot he tried to take.
He did, but at least he was trying, and that's the thing. When he went, and even when he went down to go kill the walker, he kind of tried. He kind of went in, and he was hesitant, but we didn't get to see if he would actually have done it. And but he did at least pull the trigger, even though they were bungled. So, and but he didn't bungle every shot. He still killed the truck driver.
No, he did. Or he at least shot him anyways.
He had to unload a whole clip to do it, but he did it.
Excuse me. Have a good night, Al, Red Sox fan.
Hey.
And thank you so much for your support.
Yes,
it really means tons to us, Al. Thank you so much. I did receive your letter, and then thank you so much. Anyway, so we go, excuse me, back to the hospital, and Denise kind of knows her shit. She says, the artery's fucked. I'm not a surgeon. I'm scared. This was, if anything, was a little foregone conclusion. You knew she was going to operate on this person eventually. It was a little bit like, I can't do it. Tara's like, I don't care if you're afraid. You're afraid. I'm afraid too. Just do it.
I kind of had at least maybe a little bit of a problem. That's not the time for surgery. Like, do your best to stop her from dying then, but there should be either more people coming in wounded any minute, and if you're tied up, like opening up this lady's leg, other people might die too. At least stabilize her, but I'm not sure you should be starting surgery then. And if you're that nervous about it all, then do what needs to be done and end it, I guess.
And to answer your question, D-Watts, I do. I only have like 2 of them left. I actually got it was the only time in my life I ever got the sets of these things. I'm trying to remember where I got them from. Was it like Stop and Shop or some shit? Or like I forget where I got these. But yeah, I did. I got the set of these. It was the only time I ever did that. That's funny. That's funny. Good eyes. I'm glad you noticed that. That's funny. So, okay. So anyways, so Eugene says, you don't want to be a coward. Trust me. And she steps up and she goes and tries to save the woman. And so we go off to people running away from the wolves, and someone shoots the guy running after one of the people, and it's Carl. And the wolf begs Carl not to shoot him. And I'm really surprised Carl fell for this even for a second. But he freaks out and struggles a bit. But Carl's able to. Or excuse me, it's Ron running. I said it's off to Ron running away from a wolf, and Carl shoots his ass eventually and saves Ron. And he says, Ron, come inside. I can keep you safe. And Ron's like, fuck no. And he runs off like a little bitch. I mean, like, come on, Ron, just go inside. Let Carl save you. Like you're hating on
first
Carl.
Before he runs off, he says no, but he also sees Enid standing on the porch.
Right.
And
do you think that's why he didn't come in? Because it
has to do with that and with these people and Rick, and this is Rick's son, are dangerous. And look, he just killed a man who was trying to kill me, but still he just killed a man. He's dangerous too. Look at me with his gun. My mom said no, or my mom was in the no gun crowd before.
Now she is. Now she's trying to train.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So we go back over to Jesse and and Cookie Bitch, and they're still hiding in the house. Jesse goes out when she thinks it's clear, and she yells up to Cookie Bitch to stay in the house. and she's thinking it's Ron maybe coming in, as some crazy woman comes and runs up and starts to rough her up and beats the shit out of her a little bit, or it seems. But Jesse was playing a little bit of a possum game, and she ends up, when the other woman walks away, thinking that Jesse's down for the count. Yeah, Jesse's girl over there. It's Jesse's girl. Sorry. And she goes back and she chases after her and she stabs her in the heart like several times. This almost gets comical.
No. Yeah, she was.
She goes nuts.
Over and over. Yeah.
Over and over again. And then she does it. And then she stops and Ron comes in and sees her do it. And then she does it one more time as it cuts away.
Into her head, into the head. She goes for the head the last time.
Exactly. And it's sort of funny. It's almost a comical moment.
I like I said before, I almost wish that she had like turned around and been like, now next time I tell you, get in that chair.
I know exactly. Now sit down for your haircut.
Yeah, I've gotten that look from my mom.
So we get to our commercial break, and in the commercial break, we got our Flight of 462 Fear the Walking Dead thing with the plane taking off, still the focus on the kid texting to the mom, the guy's not putting his phone away in the airplane, not putting it in airplane mode. What a little shit. And we get eye contact. Nothing really happens. But what I do want to mention right now, why we have the time talking about Fear the Walking Dead, is guess when Fear the Walking Dead is going to air its second season? It's going to start at the same time that Game of Thrones is starting. It's going to be on in the spring.
It's going to get crushed.
It's going to go right up against the Game of Thrones. So I don't want to talk too much about that. We'll do a separate podcast all on that, or a video on.
There's plenty of time in the year to do it in between. Like, do it before The Walking Dead, and then when The Walking Dead's on its mid-season break. Come on.
No, they're doing it up against Game of Thrones. Okay, so let's continue. So we go back and...
That's a mistake. Well, they know it's going to... Maybe that gives it the excuse to
have a good night, Tara. Have a good night, Tara Chan. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Tara Chan. Have a good night. I'm glad we... now that it's all over, I'm glad we didn't have problems like we had last week.
You want to kill a show, you put it on what? Friday or Saturday night, or against Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Are you going to put it on Sunday? I haven't heard if there's going to be Sundays. But if you're putting it on Sundays right up against I mean,
big
are
mistake.
You...
Maybe the Tuesday night drama.
No, it's not good. It's not good. Not good. Okay. So anyways, I just wanted to get that over with. So I wanted to mention that. Yeah, what? Apulia's like, what? Yeah, come on. What the? Okay. I don't know exactly. They've just said that the season is going to premiere in the spring of 2016. And if I remember, and I
Game of Thrones starts in April usually.
Yeah, spring of 2016. So I assume I'm suppositioning a little bit. So, I mean, don't quote me on this exactly, but they've said that Fear is starting in the spring. Walking Dead's in the spring. I mean, Game of Thrones is in the spring. What are you doing? Are you just stupid? Like what are you doing? Are you dumb?
They're trying to kill it.
No bueno, says Bill. No bueno. Okay. So, yeah, they must be trying to kill it at this point. They must be like, okay, we got a dead duck, so let's just shoot it and put it out of its misery. Especially this coming season, the Game of Thrones, when you have all these it's just whatever. Okay. So as we get our ninja walking down the street of Carol and Morgan, Carol's pretending to be one of the wolves, and she's dressed like them, and people are kind of talking to her, and she's pretending to have Morgan as a prisoner. But Morgan sees Father Gabriel in the distance being in trouble with one of the wolves kind of attacking him, and he's like, I have to help him, and she's like, okay, go. And then this other woman's like, what are you doing? And Carol kills like 5 people in the matter of 2 seconds. So we cut over to Father Gabriel about to be dead and kind of accepting his demise, and they're giving it the old Yeller treatment. I love people in the chat are reacting now. They're like, what is going on with this stupid Fear of the Walking Dead? So Gabriel's about to die, and at the last minute, he's saved by Morgan, who knocks the dude out and starts to kind of tie him up. And we hear a woman's alive, and then we see Carol killing some more people, and she's sneaking into the armory, and she's got the guns, kills a bunch of other people, and she opens the door, and it's the food lady Olivia, who, as Joe mentioned earlier, didn't actually see her doing anything, was kind of like hiding in the closet at the time, and just saw her, like aim a gun at her. So Carol's, secret is still safe.
I mean, she can't even keep track of the fucking candy bars.
Ren says The Talking Dead was. I love when Kevin Smith is on The Talking Dead. I think Kevin Smith's one of my favorite guests that they have on that show. I enjoy the episodes that he has. I like
the comic book man too. I like his movies.
No, I mean I'm a pretty big Jersey fan. Yeah, and Jersey Girl even I've warmed up to a little bit since George Carlin's passing, just because I like George Carlin in it. But I actually like I'd say I like 90% of Kevin Smith's movies.
Yeah. I
don't like Cop Out. I thought that was pretty shitty, and with him and Bruce Willis. Anyways, you guys, anyway, she should have said no haircut like Silent Bob did on Dogma. No ticket line after throwing Affleck to Matt Damon off the train. Absolutely, Michael. Good point. Good one. We see Gabriel's about to be dead. Morgan comes and saves him. I thought this was interesting when Carol ends up stabbing someone. She like lingers in the wound a little bit. She like stabs one of the wolves and then she doesn't pull the knife out right away. She's like, and then she pulls the knife out. It's pretty fucking intense.
Yeah. I liked how Carol was real quick about it when she killed the one that stabbed the lady at the porch there. And she got him in the back and pulled it out and then put it right in his ear. I felt like it was great. It was like I she stabbed him and there was like a half a second pause and I was like, oh, now this is gonna be a struggle. But nope, she got the knife out and just ended him. Like it wasn't this. It was like death blow. As soon as she could, she did it. It was perfect. I really liked it.
Michael says Carol was racking up quite the body count. Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Expendables, Gimli, on the Lord of the Rings type night.
She'll be in Expendables 4, no doubt now.
Tim says Phil is correct. Kevin Smith is great. I love his like one man, one axe when it's just Kevin Smith talking. He's one of my favorite creators out there. I just enjoy his podcasts. I just can't say enough cool things about Kevin Smith. I like him. Special guest is where Katie is unfortunately sick this evening.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. She's to inform that she will not be here.
Yes, Katie reflects to inform you all that she will not be here this evening. In her place,
all desperately wishes she could have been on.
In her place is Donatello. Hi, everybody. I'm Donatello.
I'm Donna Delicious.
No team fit tonight for Katie. Yeah. Pantry Lady was braver than Eugene. She had a gun and she wasn't afraid of it, says Ren. So we go off to Gabriel and Father Gabriel and Morgan, and they're tying up the guy. And this is a good scene with Gabriel and Morgan, two great actors working together. And Gabriel is like, how'd you learn to fight? And he goes, I learned to fight from a cheesemaker. I love how Morgan's still a little crazy. Like, you haven't lost all the crazy out of Morgan. And we're freaking. You're trapped. The prison says blah blah blah. So anyways, they come over and the guy's kind of talking to him, saying, "You guys don't belong here." The wolf is talking to them. "You don't belong here. You know, you shouldn't be here. No one belongs here." And then Carol just comes. This is one of my favorite parts of the entire episode. Carol just comes by and shoots the tied up guy in the head. Doesn't ask any questions.
Walks right up and boom. No, I said kill them, Morgan. Here's a gun and start killing. Yeah. You too, Gabriel.
Just hilarious.
I like it. I like that Gabriel was fighting. He was actually fighting, and he didn't say, "No, I don't want the gun," or "No, I can't kill." He says, "I'm not very good with it." Well, Gabriel, you're not very good with your hands either, but you're at least you're trying. So now you get two guns, double the killing.
And we get Maggie and Carol together, and I wish we saw more of the two of them kicking ass. Again, I wish I saw more of Maggie kicking ass, because I just want to, I mentioned this a lot. I love Maggie's character so much that I don't want to see them kill Maggie. And I don't mean kill as in kill her, just kill what I love about Maggie. And it's that she's almost as formidable as Carol is when it really comes down to it. Maggie is a strong, except she has a little bit more of a, I'm not going to say a conscience, but a little bit more heart than Carol, where Carol is very calculating. Maggie has a little bit more warmth to her maybe, but they're both like as capable as each other is. Anyone in that Rick's Prime Strike Force team is able to do these things. And I just feel like we miss a little bit of that with Maggie now, but whatever. That's just me. And I mean, we get to see, I wish I got to see more of Maggie too. Giggity. Maggie was, and again, this is the last time I'll say it tonight because I'm starting to sound like Creeperson on this. But Maggie was just looking really good in that shirt tonight. It was very flattering to Maggie's body in the way that everything was popping here and popping there. I was having no problem with the way Maggie was looking. Carol said, "Fuck your ideals. Here's your guns." Said special guest online. He says, "Wait, are we going to talk about the pastor of the wolf calling himself dad?" And Gabriel said, and Carl says, "Gabriel shouldn't have taken a gun because the wolves would have stolen that gun from Gabriel and used it against the Alexandrians." Absolutely. Gabriel is useless, and him having a gun is just asking for it to be taken away. I could not agree with that more, Carl. So then we cut over to Rosita and Aaron shooting up, killing some wolves in a storm. Carol's killing more. We flash back over to Carol killing more. Morgan's being pissed that Carol's killing people. And he spots one of the guys from last season, and he gets surrounded by a bunch of other wolves, and they're all sort of like, "You should have killed us last season, blah, blah, blah." And he gets laughed at, and he's like, "Listen, my people have guns. Yours don't. Leave now. They're already looking at you through sniper rifles. If you guys don't get out of here now, boom, you're dead. Get out of here."
Any second,
you're dead.
Second.
And they kind of listen to him. And one of them says, "We do not choose." And he clicked his mouth like does one of those things.
Yeah, you can choose to leave. No, we didn't choose this.
And Suburbia Pictures Lawlessness, my buddy, one of our first listeners here, says Maggie's always looking good. Great point there. Lola, have a good night. Thank you so much for checking in with us tonight. Love you, Lola. Have a good evening, my friend. And Gabriel and Suburbia Pictures, I always love seeing you, buddy. You know, you're been with me longer than anybody, buddy. Love you. And wish you all the luck in the world. Can't wait to see your movies, motherfucker. Talking about your shit on here. Anyway, so he takes a gun and Morgan chases so he says, he clicks, and Morgan kind of chases him out, but one of the wolves grabs a gun, and which that's not going to come back and haunt anyone later on. Okay, so back in, Carol's looking down on some of her dead friends, the woman with the cigarettes, and she sees the pack of butts. And I wrote Marlboro Menthols, ooh, but Joe mentioned they weren't Marlboro Menthols. They're some other kind of cigarettes. Morley's. Bill says they should have had Gabriel recite Acts chapter 20, verse 29. "I know that after my departure, savage wolves will come amongst you, not sparing the flock," at some point in the episode. That would have been interesting, and it would have been like if they had cut to scenes of watching the wolves kill random people and having Gabriel just kind of sitting in a corner reading that passage. That could have been pretty intense. Lots of kisses to Lola. Have hope work isn't too
something
horrible.
I'm glad there's no scripture reading. So
Johnny Rico says Morgan was fending off 5 guys. It was awesome. I love Donatello's style. Totally. And or maybe Gabriel's reading in that previous episode as Rick's group is leaving. Yeah, totally. That's what. Absolutely. So, and then he sits there, and Carol's got the W on her head, and she tries to wipe that shit off, and she sees the A written on the porch, and she starts to cry a little bit because, as Joe was mentioning earlier, this is all remorseful for her. It is. She is remorseful. She's good at what she does, but she's also very remorseful for the action she needs to take in what this world has made her. But I think she's also kind of thankful for what this world's made her, because if it wasn't
able to do what she did because of it,
right? And if it wasn't for this world, she'd be in an abusive relationship with Ed still. You know, it's Morgan was all like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good with the bow staff," says Michael. Yeah, absolutely. He was totally like, "Yeah, you know, I'm pretty like Garth in Wayne's World when Garth plays the drum solo. He's like, I like to beat the shit out of people with my bow staff." And then after the Carol moment, we get Aaron coming up, and we talked about this earlier, stabbing one of the wolves in the head and freaking out as he notices a bag, and he opens the bag and he sees the pictures that he had of Alexandria that he was using earlier, that we saw last season, that he left in that car. And he's really upset because he feels responsible for this. Mm-hmm. So we go to Denise trying to save Holly, and she can't do it. She's really upset. She's trying, but we get the flat line, and it beeps and it beeps. And I thought what was really funny in this scene is so many times when you're watching flatline beep on television, you're like, will that beep just fucking stop? And I love how I love how she reacted. She's like, just fucking, she was like, fucking stop that thing.
It would have been just as easy to press the button, stop, bell button on the front of the machine, but that's all right. Rip the cord out the back. That works too.
And Tara and Eugene are basically like, you tried your best. You know, you really tried.
Shut up and get out.
Get out.
Get the fuck over it. She was a dead woman anyway. You did everything you could. Now put a fucking knife in her brain and get ready for the next one.
As we go off to Maggie and Spencer and Deanna and Rosita, Spencer is like, dudes, is this how you fucking live? Is this really the world we live in? And Rosita's like, yep, this is the world we live in. Just make sure, looking around, implying that Alexandria is one of these places, make sure you have a place that's worth dying for.
A people and a place that's, This is what makes it worth it.
Yep. As we look at the gate, and Maggie makes sure she like kills a walker. We get Maggie getting a kill. She says to Deanna, "We're still here," and this is where I wrote, "Maggie, you're a very pretty girl," and I underlined that. So we go off to Carol, who calls for Enid, and Carl, who calls for Enid, and she's gone. She didn't say goodbye. She was honest to that. He said he doesn't like goodbye, so she didn't say it. But there is a note, and it says, "Just survive somehow." As JSS, as the egg timer goes off, ding, 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 and Carl goes over, and we complete our whole full circle here as Carl takes Carol's casserole. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Carl takes Carol's casserole out of the oven.
Out of the convection oven.
And all of this happened in the time that the casserole was cooking. Off to Morgan, who kills a walker with a lot of hate, and he starts to head out the house. Scouts in, he's creeping in, and a wolf jumps him, and they get into a big fight. And the wolf calls him on it, kind of Joker Batmans him, and goes, "Listen, you
can't do it.
Can't kill me." And Morgan eventually says, "I'm sorry." And this is a question I have for you. Does Morgan kill him there?
I'm thinking that's what we see him walking away with a bag in his hand afterwards. What's in the bag?
The guy's balls? Did he cut his balls off?
What's in the bag, dude? Wow. What's in the bag?
What's in the bag, dude? What's in the fucking bag, dude?
What's in the bag, man? What's in the bag? Oh.
What's in the bag? Ren says, "Did you see where Eric was giving blood to Holly? It was going straight in the bag." Interesting. Bill says, "Pacifism doesn't work in the real world. It doesn't work in the real world. Fuck a 2-year post-apocalyptic world. Why does Morgan think it would work in this world?"
Right. Like, it's seriously. I know you're attacking us for no reason, cutting off my friend's arms, but could you please leave and not ever come back?
So Morgan says he's sorry and he kills him. And let's finish the episode off as we get an amazing visual of Carol and Morgan walking past each other. It was almost like an Old West moment where we're like, da-da-da, with the two guns.
I almost expected them to say something, but when they didn't and they just kept walking, it was, what are you going to say? What is there to say at that point?
It was just a really intense moment. And again, I got a very Western feel at that moment. Like,
where was Morgan going with that bag? What was he? Was he leaving? Like, this place made him have to kill, so I'm leaving?
It seemed like that, but I seriously doubt, considering everything he's been through with Rick and him and Rick's conversations in the episode before. I seriously doubt he's actually leaving. I think he was just going to a secluded area to comprehend everything that's happened.
Right. Okay.
So, and that's the end of our episode. Let's get our preview.
I did not want this fucking episode to end. I really, really did not.
Me neither. And next week we see scenes of next week with Rick's groups heading back. Basically, is just everything we see in next week's episode. Yeah, and me too, Joe. This episode was so good. This was one of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead to date.
Yes.
So let's jump in the chat.
Actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and say mine too. I really like how it's almost up until the horn gets shut off. It's a time period running at the same time period as last episode.
Mm-hmm. No, totally.
I really like that. How it's not like it's a flashback almost, but it's like this is what was happening while our other group was doing this.
It's like that episode of the Jubilee, two naked guys in the hot tub episodes of South Park, when like there's something going on at the same time that's going on while everyone's at the Jubilee. We have Kyle and Stan's dad naked in the hot tub.
And rather than cutting back and forth between the two episodes, they made it like
too intense.
It's like books 4 and 5 of Game of Thrones. They happen concurrent until a certain point.
And then it continues. And that's what happened with this episode. So let's jump in the chat a little bit before we call it a night. Michael says, so far we're 2 for 2 on knives to the back of the skull this season. Neither have been walkers. It's true. We've had 2 actual knives to the back of the head in 2 episodes going on. Yep. Sam Berbia Pictures. I feel so bad for Aaron finding the photographs of Alexandria. He's going to hate himself for breaking ties with Daryl when it comes to searching for people outside the wall. Critch says,
I don't think that's going to make him break ties, and I think Daryl's going to. I think that's going to be what makes Daryl understand. This is what, I mean. This is why you don't bring people back, because you don't know who you're bringing back, and if you run into this group, what's going to happen to you? They're going to kill you, take your photographs, take your map, and go find this town.
Gypsy says, I think it was the same wolf character that he let live the other time. I agree. I think it was too, with Morgan fighting him. Tim says, Tim's talking to Lola. Carl says, Carol and Morgan should have high-fived. And someone said,
that would have been awesome.
The silence said enough. Someone said that. I think it was Bill said the silence said enough.
The silence ended up saying enough. And there was a lot spoken as they passed each other. She said, I told you so. He said, you were right.
Oh, Anna Banana. Let's get Anna Banana in before we go. Morgan for president. Carol for vice president. Great show, guys. You guys rock The Walking Dead in a great way. Thank you, Anna Banana. Huge motherfucking hug to you and that very beautiful puppy of yours. Lots of love to you and your yummy food. Yummy, tasty food. Anyways, so a couple more comments before we call it a night. I don't want this episode to be over with, Joe. I don't want it.
I don't either, Phil.
I don't want it. Ren with Daryl could meet Enid out there. Yeah, I'm interesting. And someone said in the comments too, asked a question. I forget who it was. I'd have to scroll up a little bit, but someone said, how are Rick and his group going to make it back with that horde of zombies?
Oh, yeah. And if Enid's walking out of there right now, if Enid really just left, I hope she doesn't go that way.
Yeah, I know. Hope she's smart enough to go in the other direction. Go against the other. Critch says the one runs 99 into the survivors of the 99. So who has remade the community? And that's okay, but the 100 people. She was saying that there's 100 people. There's like lots of pacifists in this community. We have like so many 100 people in the community, 99 pacifists, and one not who runs things.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. JSS, just some sperm, says Johnny Rico. Bill Sotheby says Carol is vice president. Now all I can think about is Carol is crazy ass Dick Cheney. And Ritter, that was the same wolf Morgan left in the car. Absolutely, I think it was. Perry Love says, again with the time theme, Dale watches Herschel's pockets, watch the watch, give the Carol. What does the time thing mean? Does it have something to do with casseroles? Yes, it does. It has to do with the stuffed shells. It has to do with leave the gun, take the cannolis. It's all fucking connected. It's all about the Godfather, people. Good show tonight, says Critch. And that is our cue. Everybody, thank you so much.
Great show. Thank you.
This week. Thank you guys. You guys in the chat, again, make this show what it is. Thank you guys. We would talk by ourselves, but we appreciate so much getting to be friends with so many awesome people from around the country and around the world. So everybody, thank you so much. If you want to reach me, you can always email me at IGotIssuesMan@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at IGotIssuesMan. Follow Joe at Dirty Locks. Follow Katie on Google Plus at Cat Who. Follow Big Daddy Matt at Big Daddy Matt. And you can also subscribe to our gaming channel, Dirty Issues Gaming. Come back next week. We're going to talk more Walking Dead. You can leave voice messages at 781-990-8509. Woohoo! And as always, if you haven't already and you like this video, enjoyed our bullshit, Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Share us with a friend. Do all those fun things that really make us tingle in other weird parts of our body that we don't want to tell you about.
Absolutely. Please. Thank you. Peace out, everyone.
Yes, everybody have a good night. We will talk to you next week.
About to shank anyone in the back of the head.
Not yet. Love you all. Take care, says Ren. Everyone says good night. We have all of our friends, Perry, Apulia, Michael, Bill, Bianca. Good night, Bianca. Good night to all of our ninjas in the background, to our 50 or so people that are all been here. Anna Banana, Big Kev, Gypsy, thank you for the subscription. Love you. If you haven't already, please do it. We love all you guys. All you guys are so much of our friend. Thank you all of our people watching this during the weeks. Thank you to Carmine from Red Team Reviews. If you guys want to hear me bitch about Fear the Walking Dead, check out Red Team Reviews channel. I'm on one of his videos talking about Fear the Walking Dead, so check that out.
Awesome.
We'll be back very, very soon to talk about some more television. Have a good night, Joe.
You too, Phil.
Have a good night, everybody. Oh my gosh. We don't want to go yet. It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. It's hard to go. It's hard. It's so hard.
It's hard to say goodbye
to yesterday.
That's our, what is that, Boys to Men song?
Yeah, that was our Boys to Men. Or they still perform. They're like middle-aged men to geriatrics now in Vegas.
Men to Jerry's.
It's like New Kids on the Block, old men on the street now.
Creepy men outside the school.
Oh, and turtle love. Hashtag shit team and turtle love.
Shit buddies.
Shit buddies. Yeah, shit buddies. Sorry. Oh, gosh. Have a good night, everybody. Talk to you soon.